Hey, good evening. Welcome to Copenhagen for what is the first international rapha Nocturne. Yes, there have been loads in London, but this is the first one outside of the UK. And we're in Copenhagen. That's a fantastic evening. And it would be rude not to show you around what is called, just excuse my Danish pronunciation for a second, the Øksehelle, which is, yeah, I've got a thumbs up from my cameraman, I did it right, which is Denmark or Copenhagen's meatpacking district. Loads of racing been going on today, and loads still to come. We're building up to the women's elite race. But look, the atmosphere just building here in the Øksehelle. Let's have a word over here with this guy. I know him. This is Owen, who races for East London Fix. Just finished the men's Fixie Criterium. I'm very well. How are you?
Really good, yeah. A bit tired, a bit sweaty, but yeah, it's such a good race. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
You're buzzing.
I am buzzing, yeah. It was usually I start races a bit slow, but like I've warmed up properly and just got straight into it. And I don't know, it's just closing gaps and trying to get with that lead pack. Like, loved it.
We're talking right now, Owen, to people watching on Facebook Live, on the Rapha page. Yeah, there's going to be I'm sure your mum and dad are watching.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of your friends, but they will have experienced the Nocturne in London, and it's been in other cities of the UK as well. How does it compare here in Copenhagen?
It's great. The one in London was in the centre of the city, so it was crazy, sort of everything going on. But here it's kind of an eclectic part of town, and so it's different sorts of people here. You've had the different races. It's been a really sort of building up to a climactic day, and hopefully the elite women and the elite men are going to show us how it's done.
Who knows, because it is a tricky circuit, right? It's cobbles, it's a bit of smooth, not much of it.
I thought that before I went out there, but actually it's a really great course, and the course sort of designers have laid it out really well. It's really nice and flowing. If you've got the right tyre pressure and you're okay on the corners and you go in not too aggressive, it's a beautiful course. I'd love it. I can't wait to do it next year if we come back.
Owen, great to see you. Let's just get a look at these socks down here and the slides as well. I think they made a real difference on the track today. Owen, thanks a lot.
Thanks very much.
Follow me for a bit more of a look around what is the Øksehelle here in the middle of Copenhagen. Good evening. Are you enjoying yourself?
Sorry?
Are you having a good time?
Yes, very
good. I thought so. All right, follow me. We've got Maserati here who are helping to sponsor the event. It's like, I'll take that one in the middle as my team car. Not sure how many bikes you could get in the back. Not many on the roof either, but certainly nice looking. Okay, we've got a few rapha things, bits and pieces you can buy over here, some particular Nocturne stuff. Let's just finish off by showing you the special jersey. There you go. Ride all day, race all night. And that's what they're about to do, because the women's elite race is just about to get underway here on the Rapha page with the Facebook Live. So I'll hand you over to the commentary team of Harry and Ricky.
Thank you very much, Matt. It's been a pleasure working with you. You're so professional over there in Øksehelle. Ladies and gentlemen, on Rapha Facebook, we are getting ready to a live broadcast here from Copenhagen. With me here today, I have Harry Doudney from Rapha, and me, myself, I'm Ricky Lawson, commentator of races here in Denmark. And right now, Harry and I are looking down at the start line where we have the women's elite. And Harry, today, how long are they going to race?
Well, thanks, Ricky. Or should I say Ricky? I'm going to do the same and try and do a bad pronunciation. The elite women are going to race for 40 minutes, and then once they've raced their 40 minutes, no matter how many laps they've done, they will have then three laps to go until the end of the race. And in between that 40 minutes, there will be preems. Isn't that right, Ricky?
Yes, there will be the sprints at 10, 20 and 30 minutes. And what's exciting here is that the girls can actually gather points. So they can be the ultimate racer, the Rapha Nocturne racer in the year. Because this is the first ever race outside of London.
That's correct, Ricky. This is the first time that the Rapha Nocturne has gone international. And with this advent of international races, we are now seeing also the World Series. So that's what we're talking about in terms of garnering points. So there's 2 girls who are racing on the women's race. Oh, and we're just getting the countdown for the start. 3, 2, 1, and they're away.
And here we have the girls of, this is the women's elite, but I know that we have both B riders and A riders together in one bunch. So that's also meaning we're going to have some separation in this group of riders. We have in the front here some very strong girls. We have Olympic medal takers, and in the back we will have some of the B girls who are not used to racing this fast on this short a distance, so it will be very exciting.
Absolutely, it is, as you said, it's a huge spread of abilities, from the fastest girls in the world to maybe girls who are taking a step up, and you can see on the front the Story Racing already pushing the pace super hard. They are the girls that are probably going to be favourites for the win today. We've got Monica Dew and Elizabeth Jane Harris, or EJ as she likes to be known. EJ actually came 4th at the Rapha Nocturne London. That's her on the front there immediately, and Monica came 10th. That's her teammate. So those 2 will be the most motivated to win, because if EJ picks up she's about 15 points behind in the World Series ranking, but the women who are in front of her aren't racing today. But if she takes enough points, she could not only win potentially today, but also the World Series, and be crowned as one of the best female crit racers in the world.
Oh, it's fantastic. And from Denmark, we have 2 of the very strong Omnium riders. That is a category of different races. And there we have Michelle Laurvig, who is actually the Danish champion. She's with us here today. 2nd place of that race was Emma Norsgaard, and she's also here today. We also have our European champion, Malene Dine, of mountain bike. And I think this really technical circuit is very good for mountain bike riders. So I expect a lot from young Malene. She just signed up with a German team, a German mountain bike team called Ghost. So some very strong female Danish rider, may be able to get the UK riders a little bit of excitement.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. That would be really nice to see. You can see already splits in the field. It's blink and you miss it in crit racing. This is why warming up is so important in races like this, because ultimately you're going to go to your threshold maximum heart rate within minutes. And if you haven't warmed up properly, you're going to take 20 minutes recovering from that. So you can see these girls on the front pushing super hard, and everyone else just trying to hold on. We've got 3, 4, 5. That looks like Aoife from the 5th gear in about 5th place. That's a collective of racers from London and New York.
And already now it seems like we have a front group pushing hard to smash this peloton into many, many pieces. And like we talked about before today, it's so hard to keep that wheel. It's really an enormous amount of strength to keep this together. And there I see already one of the Wahoo riders, Kat-Marie Grage, who is trying to keep on the lap.
For sure, you can see, as you can see, the riders coming over the finish line. A huge portion of this course is cobbled, and ultimately this is like the Paris-Roubaix of crit racing. It's so jangly on the arms. I was seeing some of the amateur men come off earlier, and their arms were completely red from all the shaking, shaking on the cobbles. It's a very technical course, and that's also important, because what it means is, with so many corners, it's a series of sprints in, and so you're breaking into the corners really hard to make sure you take it safely, and then you're sprinting out. So it really suits an explosive rider, somebody who is also obviously very good at handling, but can keep a fast cadence.
And it was exciting to see in the front there right now we have, isn't that Rikke Lønne from the Danish team taking the front there in orange?
That is Emma Sophie Nielsen, I believe. Yeah, actually. On the front, it's really nice to see the home riders putting down a little bit of a show for the fans. You can see the skies darkening. That is the Rapha Nocturne. Ride all day, race all night. And, it's absolutely, it must be incredibly difficult to race at the night, no, Rika?
Oh, must be a beautiful thing, but also a kind of scary thing, because now, like with the tires, they warm up, so it's very important on the cobblestones not to have the usual 7-8 bars, but really go low. Actually, further today I tried to get an interview with one of the Maloya team guys, and he said that what their pressure was a secret.
Oh yeah, it's a closely guarded secret, I imagine, because if you go too hard on the cobbles, then you're gonna lose control.
Yeah.
Real harsh pushing of the pace here, and the thing is, once you get dropped in a crit race, it's very, very hard to catch back on. So if you've been dropped already, that's potentially your chance of winning over.
Oh, it's exciting here. I can see, I tried to count, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 girls now forming the front, split up. And there, the rider we have coming around is Amelie Derrickson from the Wahoo team. She has been an ex-Olympic speed skater, and she's really trying to come up and grab this group. There she comes in the black with the red human speed sign on the arm. Let's see if Kat manages to hold on here. She is a former Danish champion in both the TT category and in teams, so let's see here.
Yeah, it's a really interesting mix of races, like you were saying. We've got mountain bikers like Marlene Dania, as you said, Ghost Factory. She's currently 6th in the rankings in the under-23s, and so she's been racing mountain bikes CX all season, and now she's hopping over onto the cobbles in the quick, fast and furious crit racing. And yet at the same, and we've also got girls who are really teenagers. Virginia Cancelera's 19, she rides for the IRD squad. There's even a 17-year-old Connie Hayes from London who's racing. God, what an experience to race at this level in a city circuit in Copenhagen, one of the most bike-friendly cities in the world.
Yes, we've actually made some search on how many people do actually bike. We're only 5.5 million here in Denmark, and it said that 600,000 people in Denmark are changing clothes to go out and ride their bike for that one person. So this is not including forth and back to work. Look at my Amelie Derrickson there, catching in on the front group. I'm amazed with her skills, but also a former Danish champion. She's had 2 babies within the past 3 years, so she has a lot of catching up here, but she's really struggling to keep on. She looks good.
There we go, yeah, good work. Right, also at the back there we have Aoife Doherty of the 5th floor. She was due to race both the women's fixed crit and then the women's elite, but she dropped her chain on the first lap, so had to pull out. Her teammate Sophie got 5th, Sophie Edmondson, so did a great job. But you can see there, Story Racing have got both their riders in the front group. They look strong. You've got Scandinavians on the front, showing off to the home fans, but that's EJ in 3rd wheel, looking strong, and yeah, she's just keeping an eye on making sure no one's going to hop off and get out of her with a potential victory in her grasp.
Yeah, I think it's in a 2nd place for a long time now. Emma Norsgaard from Team Rutger, she was the 2nd place in the Omnium here in Denmark, doing a really, really strong job.
Yeah, as I was saying about Aoife Doherty there at the back, she was caught in a crash at the last London Nocturne, and she said before, and she told me she's got unfinished business, wants to put in a good race. Looks like she's just maybe being dropped from this front group, though she's going to have to work really hard to stay on.
But amazing again here, Harry, we have girls that has both done the fixie race and now they're here again. The fixie race of 30 minutes and now a 40-minute round again. It's really tough.
It's astonishing, really, if you ask me. After going full gas for half an hour, I'm not sure half an hour later I'd want to put my legs on the line again.
For sure.
But yeah, some of them are doing it. But I can't see any of them in the front group, which I guess is indicative of how they're feeling.
And what we talked about earlier when we commented on the women's fixed race was that it must be so confusing first riding a fixed bike in one race and now with brakes and everything in gear here. So really impressive, the girls that are doing both of these categories. And again, I think, Harry, the style here is amazing. I love the style of the girls here.
Oh, looks like a mechanical for one of the story racing riders.
It was.
She just, as she was crossing the line, and that probably means that's race over for her.
Yeah,
look, she's pedaling back.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a disaster for the team. I wonder if it's EJ or whether it's Monica, her younger teammate. Looks like EJ to me, which would be an absolute disaster. You can't, at the Rapha Nocturne, you can't take a lap out, I don't believe.
No, no. Let's see, maybe you can.
So with one of the story... So pushing on the front now, we've got this group of 10, including the VC Landres rider, Christine Robson, who started, she got into riding 8 years ago. She bought a £7 bike off eBay. She was riding to work, wore a Marmite jersey to her first track session at the velodrome, and within 3 years of that she was competing with the elites, and here she is. That's her in the red VC Landres jersey in about 5th wheel. I mean, how about that for a story?
Oh, that's a fantastic story. Look at this, 9 riders who has absolutely smashed a great hole down to the rest. This means that they are saved for the moment, and we'll then see what happens later. The ride has been going on for about 10 minutes now, so half an hour to go.
Still half an hour to go, and already the race is down to about 10 women. I was wrong earlier, actually. One of the riders who raced the women's fixed has made it into this front group, and that is, perhaps unsurprisingly, the winner, Jasmine Dotti, the Italian, who also won the London Rapha Nocturne. So she's obviously in fantastic form still. Will she be able to cut it against the women who haven't raced at all, or who are specialists on bikes, as in bikes that have brakes and gears? We will see. She's done incredibly well to get into that front group, though.
Yes, and amazing that Rapha Nocturne here in Copenhagen has gathered nationalities from all over Europe. I believe in the next category, men's elite, we have an Australian who also won in London.
That's right, that's Brenton Jones from the JLT Condor team, who will no doubt be the favourites. They've come mob-handed with 4 incredibly fast racers. Each of them could win. Ed Clancy, Graham Briggs and John Mould, and of course Brenton. They'll be the favourites. But there were some really good Scandinavian pro-continental riders who are coming in, maybe going to try and give the beats a bit of a kicking. Let's see if the same thing happens in this race. We've got Scandinavian riders on the front, but UK riders sitting in that group with a few Italians. Let's see.
Yeah, and thank you for the Italians. I mean, we've had so many Italians in the fixed gear race that we just had, both on the male and the female side, and it's great they find their way up here to Copenhagen, even though we are a rain country.
Quite right. I can confirm that was EJ Harris, who did have a mechanical on the finish line a couple of laps back and has had to drop out of the race. It's just the cruel nature of this racing. There's no support. It's not like you've got a team car. If something happens, if you drop your chain, if you get a flat tire, that's your race over. And this was somebody who could potentially have won, who could have won the World Series, and now she's out. So now it's up to her younger teammate Monica, who's a first-year under-23 rider, to try and make it up. No pressure, Monica.
It's really, really strong women here today. I mean, they all have, a lot of them have Olympic medals and big wins all over the world. So amazing to see again Marie Grage from the Wahoo team, how she follows up here. Just clinging on to the front group here. But being a native Copenhagen woman, I'm just so happy that the weather's with us. There's no wind at all, there's no rain. So it's dry out there because the Danish cobblestones, when wet, are just, it's just bad news.
Ulrika, I'm going to have to apologise. It looks like EJ has rejoined the race. That's her in third wheel, so I was talking complete rubbish.
No, you're not. I think she has what we call respite, so they put her into the team, so they fix her wheel or whatever, and then she's put back into the team.
I was misinformed and I apologise, but hopefully that means she's still in the race and can still win.
Fantastic. Look at these 10 girls. I'm wondering if it's going to be like the fixie race, where in the end on the last round it's going to be determined.
Yeah, you can see when it's such a technical race like this, it's very hard to actually get a gap. But once you do, then potentially you could. Looks like this. The girl that's on the front has been on the front for the last 5, 6, 7 laps. She's just pushing relentlessly. It's a fantastic effort.
Because I'm thinking like the girls behind her now, there's not a lot of wind here today, so let's say they save about 20% being in the back. That's a lot of power that they save. So I'm thinking she should loop around and have some of the other girls if I was the trainer here, I would say, now go in the back, you're taking your turn. But very, very strong rider here.
You would think so. She doesn't even have a teammate behind.
No.
It's an interesting tactic, especially as you can see behind her, there's 2 riders from the same team who are just enjoying the armchair ride.
Fantastic. And that's the 2 Danish girls, Emma Norsgaard and Johanne Marker from Team Rutger. And again, Emma Norsgaard coming in second at the Omnium for the Danish Championship here. So really strong girls. We have Sophie from Team Majoya again in the top group, and she also did the fix here, and she's with us here again. I just love these girls. I mean, it's girls are just more afraid. I think I could say in general. I don't know about these girls, but it is something, and that's also the reason why we don't have so many female riders, because it's just a rough sport. You can get injured so easily. It's really rough with these speeds on the bikes.
We were fortunately there were no crashes in the women's fixed gear race, but there were at least a couple in the men's. I think both guys got away with just scrapes and bruises. But you're right, it's a tough sport. I wouldn't say that these girls are wimps at all. These are tough. Some of the baddest, fastest racers in crit racing. And I think we might have been shown an old pictures, because actually it looks like there is only one story racing girl in this front group, so perhaps we were shown a picture. I can't see EJ Harris in this front group now, so it's perhaps confusing. I do apologize to the viewers.
And also in this, there are the sprints. The girls have been racing for about 16 minutes now, and at 10 minutes we have the first sprint. So that's also a reason why you would like to be in front of this girl, because there's going to be one after 20 and one after 30. And these girls gather points because we have this we have the championship of this rapha Nocturne that is international now, so these girls gather all the points. Oh, it looks good. I'm so excited. Good job, girls.
Isn't it beautiful? Look at the Copenhagen skyline there. I mean, in terms of places to come for the first international race, we couldn't have picked a better spot. And I don't think we mentioned earlier, actually, Ricky, we're in the meatpacking district of Copenhagen.
Yes.
So this is a place where traditionally, hundreds of years ago, and even up until recently, people would buy and sell cattle, and now it's become a very trendy area. That's right, no?
Yeah, this is our fashion district actually here in Øksnehallen, where we are. Just a week ago we had the fashion fair here in Copenhagen. That's one of our big forces in Denmark that is creating fashion. We don't have a lot of raw materials here in this little flat country, but we have some brain power, and we sure know how to use it.
So just to give everybody an update on the race position, we've got 8 women in this front group. We've got Rikke Lonne, Emma Norsgaard, Johanna Marcher, Caroline Hemsen, Christine Robson, Sophie Mangard Seder. There's a lot of Scandinavian names there. We've got Monica Ju, the English girl from Story Racing, and we've got Kat Modi Graja. And then about 50 seconds behind, we've got a chase group of 3, which is Sophie Edmondson from 5th floor, Marlene Degner, who's the young mountain biker, and Cornelia Krohn.
Oh, fantastic. Cornelia Krohn is a young rider. She has only been on the bike, I think, the past year. So the way she has been qualifying for this is just amazing. Come on, Kat Marie Grash, hang on there.
And they're just coming up for the second sprint, I believe, now. So that will be for the second prime.
And that's why Rikke Lonne has taken the front there, I think, because she is collecting all these points. Rikke Lønne, a really strong A rider here in Denmark.
How strong's the Danish scene, Rika, in terms of women's cycling?
Well, we're actually getting stronger and stronger, and it's a big inspiration for the levels below the elite women. We are really, I mean, at the Olympics, we're taking medals. We have Michelle Lauke-Kvad, the Danish champion, out in the world, and also Malene Dein here on the mountain bike. So we have some very strong girls positioning themselves. Malene Dein is the European champion, and right now she's training. She's going to go to Australia and do the World Championship for female mountain bikers in September, so it's soon.
And of course, the current reigning world champion on the road is Amelie Derrickson, who is a very, very young, took a very surprising win in Qatar last year. You would expect that a result like that would inspire a lot of young girls.
Oh yes, for sure. I mean, cycling in Denmark on the female side is just booming. It's really inspiring to see these girls. Oh,
and there was just a little bit of elbows for the line there on that second green sprint. I'm not sure who took it. Looked like maybe the Christine Robson of the VC Londres team. I can't quite see. I mean, you can see as well as I can, viewers.
Yeah,
the darkness is falling. This is racing at the Nocturne. This is racing at night. It's an interesting experience. It must be quite hard to race and spot your line through the corners.
Exactly, and we just saw her giving an apology to the Danish rider Rikke Lønne. Is that Kat-Marie Grage I see here taking the lead? Let's see. It is Kat-Marie Grage, our Danish rider, Danish champion. Oh, that's amazing.
Tell me a little bit more about Kat-Marie.
Kat-Marie actually just had two babies. She is a former Olympic skater. So there she is. I'm very proud now. She's Danish, so I'll trade together with her. She is a former Olympic speed skater. She came into cycling, I think, about 6 years ago, and everybody was like, okay, a speed skater, that's interesting. But these girls have been training so hard with their lung capacity, with the oxygen, and this girl has a wild power in her legs. She's only 57 kilos and just gave birth, I think, for the past 4 years she's had 2 babies, and now she's back on the cycling scene.
Fantastic. I mean, speed skating is an endurance sport, so you would expect that she's got the right engine for something like this, but of course bike handling is a whole different question. It's really impressive to see her do so well on such a technical course with so many cobbles. Hey, cobbles aren't quite as smooth as ice.
No. And what I've talked to Kat-Marie about is the fact that, you know, after you've given birth, you develop this mother gene, and you really have to go back into finding, in Danish we call it fanden i voldsked. So you have to find your inner self, your tougher inner self, to do these races that are so dangerous. I mean, it's high speed, it's cobblestones. Look at Kat, she looks like she's...
Looks to me like she found it.
She has a wonderful time.
She's really putting the girls behind in the hurt locker, looking around, checking to see if they are in pain or if she's not going fast enough. Hey, this is a great effort, and still we've got that girl in second place, just looking very strong.
Yeah, that's Rikke Lønne. Rikke is so strong, and she's such a good rider, and she's not afraid. And I think that's what is really important here at these crit races on cobblestones.
It's very hard to give the perspective from the camera how technical, how fast, how tough it is. The corner that the women are just going through now is the final corner before the sprint towards the finish line, and it's so tight. I don't even think I would take it on a three-wheeler.
No, I know. Well, it's very funny when Matt had the previous interview with a male rider from the fixed gear Criterium. The male rider said, well, at first he thought it would be very hardcore, but he actually thought the circuit was all right. I'm not sure I agree. This is very tough. Oh, and if I could speak to Kat-Marie Grage in her little ear now, I'd say no more leading the pack. It's time to go in the back and catch your breath. But look at Kat-Marie Grage here, taking the lead. sharply followed by Danish rider Rikke Lønne. Oh, it's amazing.
I agree. You can. I mean, I'd say the same. She's still got 20 minutes plus the 3 laps to go.
Yeah.
You don't want to put your nose in the wind for too long.
No.
I think I don't know whether you saw there that the corner that the women just took there is so difficult that the camera motorbike can't actually film them straight while it goes over it. It keeps on veering off towards the floor because it's got this crazy kind of double lit up cobbled, very, very difficult. But hey, these women are taking it all in their stride. Not even close to a crash so far, which is great. Even with the potholes and the cobbles, as you can see right on the screen at the bottom of the screen there.
I'm just so happy we're not having rain. I cannot tell you how bad this summer has been. I mean, maybe 3 days of sun. Luckily, one of them was my wedding day, so that was fantastic.
Well, I can only offer my congratulations.
Thanks. And it's good to see Rikke Lønne. She's riding from the team Crescent Dare, and she's just hanging on. She took a long lead before Kat Marie Garage went up here. And being Danish, of course, I'm rooting for all the girls, but it's great to see that the Danish girls actually are really taking the lead here.
I can see where your bias lies, Rikke. I can see where your bias lies, but that's quite right. And it's good. I like that there's a rivalry. We need to create some international rivalries as the Nocturne. Again, next year we'll go to even more countries, hopefully the USA. Hopefully there's a really strong crit scene in the USA, and we can get riders who are going to come and make it even more international.
Speaking the men's fixed gear, I was really impressed, and also the women with the colors in this scene of the suits or the suits they're riding in. It's so colorful. I mean, they're going a little out of the box where cycling is. The road racers are in a box, you know, not too much this, not. There's so many rules, and here it's stylish, but it's colorful.
For sure. It's not one for the traditionalists, is it? Fixed gear racing, but that's exactly how it should be. It's like the new kid on the block, tearing things up, doing things in a new way. I mean, you're right, the bikes are beautiful. Some maybe a little bit too colourful for my liking, but hey, at least they're expressing themselves, which is important.
For sure.
Still, we have these 8 women riding very strong. The race will certainly be decided amongst these 8 because ultimately, once you've been dropped, there's no way of getting back on something like this.
No,
it's too difficult. So these women should be pleased that they're already going to get a top 10. What happens from here on in the last 10, 15 minutes, that's to play out on the road.
It's exciting. I think we have about 14 minutes left here. Can go all ways, but very exciting. So these girls just keep this full speed tempo, 14 minutes, and then we'll see how it happens.
So as the girls come through, still the same on the front, pushing hard. They're going to get the bell for the next sprint lap. So if you're watching, keep an eye out, see if they're jockeying for position. You saw there was a little bit of argy-bargy, shoulders out as the girls went through last time round, so I'm sure it'll be the same.
But also good style, you know, apologizing afterwards, you know, sorry, that was the shoulder. And they're competing for this, to be the ultimate street racer. Rapha's ultimate street racer, that's amazing.
Sounds like a video game.
Yeah, it does.
So as they wind it up into this final sprint here, this fight with 1 lap to go, I apologise. 1 more lap to go until the sprint. You'll see they'll get 5 points for first, 2 for third across the line, and 3 for third, 3 for second across the line, and 1 for third. And there is, of course, cash prizes, as is traditional in preems in racing. So what that often means is riders who perhaps know they're not going to get the win at the end, they're not strong enough in the final sprint, might want to just pick up a little bit of cash or some points towards the World Series because they know that's ultimately the best that they're going to get.
Yeah, and see now the pace is picking up here. We have again Danish rider Rikke Lønne out here in the front. And I'm saying Rikke because, you know, like I say, I'm Ricky, I'm actually Rikke, and this is a Rikke we have here. Look at this.
Yeah, it's really stretching out now, isn't it? We've got Christine Robson, who went for the preem points last time round. Well placed. She's in third wheel now. This is a really crucial part of the course where you have to be well positioned because there's really nowhere to pass because it's so technical. So you see, you're going to take this 2 more bends until the final sprint now.
And now 6 riders in the front here really pressuring the speed.
Yes, you're right. They've dropped 2 others. There's the 2 that have been dropped.
Yeah,
so in this rush for the line for the intermediate sprint points, they've dropped 2 riders, and here they've just come out onto the final sprint.
Yeah, and this is one of the girls from Team Rutger, and this is Sophie from Team Majoya. Look at this sprint.
Pretty easy in the end. And Christine Robson in 3rd.
So 5 points for Regeløne.
5 points for Regeløne, 3 for Emma Norsgaard, and 1 for Amelie Derrickson.
Oh, that is so exciting. It's all 3 girls from Denmark.
Putting on a real show for the home fans here. Fantastic to see.
And Italy, Holland, I love everybody. UK, there's no thing. I actually speak Italian and French, so no hard feelings here. But sitting here in Copenhagen and actually training with some of these girls, I'm just so proud.
So I think most interestingly from that sprint is they've shed another 2 riders. So there's only 6 to go now.
Yeah, and
so it's sort of a war of attrition, and it's really just holding on. The pace is so fast, and now there's only 6. I don't think we'll see any real attacks off the front. I think what we're more likely to see is some of the girls just dropping off, not being able to keep up.
And the riders we lost was Johanna Marker from Team Rutger, and it was Sophie from Team Majoya Push Bikers. So now our 6 girls in the front here. Regeløne still in the front, closely followed by Norsgaard and Amelie Derrickson.
Then we got Christine Robson in 4th. Monica Dew looks like she's right at the back from Story Racing. And over the line once again. I mean, so many laps. They do it just over a minute, 900 meters, which is, when you work it out, it's astonishing speed to go cobbles, corners, narrow. It's really impressive.
I was just up speaking the men's fixed gear, and they did a round on 1 minute and 21 seconds. It was amazing pace. In top 10 there, we only had 1 Dane. This is the fixed race are not something we're accustomed to here in Denmark, but after having Rapha here, I am sure it's gonna start developing, because it was just amazing to see. Big respect, guys and girls, on the fixed gear, no break criteriums.
I think that's a really important point, Rika. The Rapha Nocturne is such an interesting event because it brings together a lot of different cultures within cycling. Because you've got, from the start of the day, you've got kids, so there's families, and then we had the cargo bike races, and then in the London Nocturne, you have the penny farthing races, so maybe the more eccentric side of cycling. And we had the folding bike races, which sees guys race towards their Bromptons wearing a suit and tie, and that's still racing as hard as they can go. Then we go into the fixed gear, which is a whole other subculture within bike racing, and now onto the elites. So it's really fantastic spread across the day, riding all day and then racing through to the night.
Yeah, so big thank you to Rapha Nocturne here in Copenhagen. Outside of the UK for the first time, Rapha has been having these Nocturne races in the UK for the past 11 years. So being here in Copenhagen, we're so grateful. It's fantastic.
So we've just had the confirmation of the 3 intermediate sprints, and Regeløne won all 3 of them. So she's going to be buying dinner tonight, I think.
Oh, Regeløne, that's wonderful. Then her husband, Sebastian Hartvisen, also a Danish rider, he'll be very, very happy because he's coaching her. So I think his tactics work.
And with just under 10 minutes and 3 laps left, this is potentially getting to an important part of the race, a time when, you know, the girls are still pushing on really hard, but they might start looking at each other. They might start thinking about tactics. Maybe they're thinking, oh, am I not a very good sprinter? Do I need to try and have a long attack? Or am I just going to wait for the sprint? Or maybe I'm holding on for dear life here. What else can I do?
I know that Amelie Derrickson is more of a very steady pace driver. She says herself that sprinting is not her thing. I do not quite agree, because I've seen her do some really fantastic thing. I know Rikke Lønne is also good in a sprint. Emma Norsgaard, I would say she would be good in a sprint. She's a very strong girl, and being second place in the Omnium here really shows she can do a good sprint. Yeah, girls, women.
Here they are coming across the line again. And you'll see there, I'm not sure whether you saw those strips across the course there, Rika. That's actually a special, really grippy tape that is fantastic, because if it had rained, it would have stopped the girls or the racers slipping. On a course like this, it just has so many ruts and holes and bits and curves, and to be able to plaster over those bits with sticky tape. And also they were actually laying tarmac this morning just to make sure that the race is as smooth as possible within the context that we have here.
Oh yeah, that is so important. Let's see here, we still have 6 girls. And
for the first time, the Brits have come to the front of the race. That's Monica Dew of Story Racing on the front. Sitting on her wheel is Christine Robson of VC Londres. And so, hey, maybe we do have a little bit of a national rivalry going on here. Maybe the Brits are saying, hey, we're here to ride too, you know?
Well, if you ask me, I just think the Brits have been racing smarter. Well, not Rikke Lønne, because she's taking all the points. But when I do race, I will put myself in the back. I will take my leads once in a while, but it's been really long leads that both Rikke Lønne and Kat-Marie Garage has taken, and that will tear on your power. So what we're seeing here are the UK girls coming up with really fresh power in the legs. Well, fresh and fresh. They've still been racing 35 minutes.
Yeah, you can see that Monica's really putting a good effort in on the front. Monica grew up actually as a sprinter in athletics. That was how she first started out in sport. She was a regional level sprinter, and then she's converted into the endurance of cycling, and she learned how to ride on the Manchester Velodrome, which was been a home of British cycling, track cycling at least for a long time. She works part-time in a physio clinic. She's very young. She's a first-year under-23 rider, so this is a great showing from her. And now Christine Robson from VC London moves on to the front. This corner that they're about to come over here, by far the hardest corner of the race. You can see the camera bike going all over the shop, pointing us out at all of the bars that that are lining the course, and all of those enjoying. I think you might have a problem with the lens here.
Oh, these girls are racing now, and you can see on the way their backs are performing a little overbent that now it's hard. Now it's really hard.
Yeah, you could see the Christine Robson had a really strong cadence there, and then moving into the technical part of the course, this is where you want to be, near the front, out of harm's way, just in case any crashes could happen behind.
And the UK girls have tried this before, they know what they're doing. I'm not sure about Rikke Lønne, but I know that Kat-Marie Garage has not done these races before. So now she can rely on the expertise here from the UK girls. And what is really, really important here is not being behind one of the girls who can't hold any longer and let go of this group, because then you're there behind. So it's very important to follow and all the time look at like who's gonna take off here and who's not, who's tired, because if you are behind a tired girl, then it's really hard to catch up.
For sure, and that's something it's very difficult to know, and that's why it's so important to look and try and get a sense of how the girls that the fellow racers you're racing with, what their form's like, if you think they're tiring or not, because as you said, on a course like this, you could let 2 bike lengths and then you're dropped.
Yeah.
And it's maybe not your fault, it's the person in front of you's fault, but you can't get around them because it's so tight.
No.
So you're absolutely right, positioning is so important in this race. Now you've got Christine Robson still pushing on really hard at the front. You can see her face is just betraying the first signs of really making that effort.
Oh yes, and here now they have 6 laps to go. So right now I think the tactics is just to hold on to the group. I don't think any of these women have extra power to go full gas.
No, I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. 6 laps to go. 6 racers who could go for the win here.
Yeah, exciting.
I'm going to ask you in a minute who you think's going to win, so you better get thinking about that. I mean, I can have a guess at the nationality.
Yeah. No, I'm
go.
quite aware of that all 6 riders are amazing.
I think Monica, I mean, it's quite early to predict, but I think Monica Dew of Story Racing, who is 10th in the World Series standing, so she's the best ranked racer. On paper, she should be somebody who's up there for the win. She moved onto the front a little bit earlier, then she moved onto the back. I'm not sure whether that's because she's tired or not, and now she's back on the front again. I think she's looking good. You can see she's got the bit between her teeth, looking really focused.
But if I was the trainer here, I would say to the girls, my girls, the Danish girls, to be in the back now, you know, just hold on and let these girls work this through, and then in the last round try and see if you have enough power to go around. Harry, I'm just thinking, you know, Story Racing, they have a really beautiful story, because the team stories are named after Dame Sarah Story. And what is that story?
Let me tell you the story about Dame Sarah Story. So as Matt Barbette said earlier, Dame Sarah Story is the most successful female Paralympian in British history. I believe she's won 14 gold medals at the Paralympics, and that's across swimming and cycling. And she's been racing for 20 years, as you can just see on the screen there. We've got 5 laps to go. It's going to start winding it up. Not long now, probably just over 5 minutes. So Dame Sarah Story is, what makes her so astonishing is she actually competed, and still competes, although she's just on a current career hiatus. She still competes with able-bodied women, so she raced professionally at an elite level. And then also in the Paralympics as well. So when she raced the Paralympics, it was almost too easy for her. She was an astonishing athlete, and it's great that she's investing back in the sport with her own racing team and investing in young girls like Monica, who we can see on the front here and doing a fantastic job.
And I just heard an interview with some of the girls from the fixed elite women, and they said that right now she's actually pregnant, but they also said she's going to be back and she's going to be stronger than ever.
I don't doubt that for a second. When you won 14 Paralympic gold medals, and if you still think you're strong, you're not going to give that up, are you?
No.
You're going to keep going. So 5 laps to go now, just over, I would say, between 5 and 6 minutes to go. And we've still got Story Racing on the front. These 6 are definitely the strongest, and they all look good. I'll be surprised if anyone gets dropped before the end, although you never know.
Because it's all a game, and let's see here.
And 4 laps to go now, 4 laps to go. See, it goes so quickly. The pace will start to ramp up, and it will just be a slow increase of pace until the final sprint. And actually, we've just worked it out that if Rikke Lohne, who won all 3 of the intermediate sprints, if she comes in the top 2 on the line, she will win the World Series for 2017.
Oh my God, that is so intelligent of Rikke Lohne. Because, you know, we were sitting here saying, oh, she should go in the back, but she was actually up there in the front taking all these points, and now if she positions well, she'll be the winner. Oh,
she's got better racecraft than us, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, and now we have Kat-Marie Grage from Team Wahoo Cycling up in the front again. And Wahoo is actually a strong partner to the Rapha. I know that they have done a technical partnership around these computers and the Wahoo Kicker.
That's correct. With the Rapha Cycling Club, Wahoo is the technology sponsor, and it provides their GPS cycling units are available in all the cycling clubs. So if you're a member of the Rapha Cycling Club, you can go to any of the, I think it's 15 clubhouses around the world. You can borrow one of the kickers, which has already got all of the best routes in whatever city you're in, loaded onto it, take your bike out for a ride, and there you go, nice and easy.
Oh, it's fantastic. Oh, this is so exciting.
I think you're nervous, aren't you, Ricky?
I am. I love these girls. Look how hard they're pressing. Actually, Kat-Marie Grage, she had her little son Thor doing the Rapha Nocturne kids race earlier today. He's only 3 years old. He was on a little bike kicker.
Fantastic.
No pedals.
Oh. Yeah, it was painfully cute. There were kids raced earlier. There's 3 laps to go now, really not far now. I mean, speaking of keeping in the family, Rasmus Quaid's wife is actually Michelle Quaid,
yes.
So she was racing in this. I think she might have been blue flagged, which is what happens when you get lapped and you get dropped. But it's great to see families racing at such a high level. I wonder if they're a competitive couple.
I know they're a very sweet couple. I know them both. They're wonderful people. And I know that Rasmus is going to ride for the Vitamin Well team here when these girls, women, are done. We're going to have the elite men, and Rasmus is going to be there. I'm not sure if he can compete with the strong UK guys.
It will be really interesting to see. But yeah, as you said, the Vitamin Well have put together a kind of crack team of Scandinavian racers, 2 of which Rasmus is one of them, were bronze medalists for Denmark at the team pursuit at Rio Olympics. So there's power in those legs. Whether they've got the technical ability, like the UK crit racers, like Ed Clancy, who loves to take the corners as fast as he can, we will see. But let's stick with the women, and it's just coming up to 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. You can see there's 5 in the front group. 6, I tell a lie. And that looks like Christine Robson's just struggling to stay on at the back. The UK rider for VC Landers from South London, which has their home in Herne Hill Velodrome, which is the heart of UK track racing, and is undergoing an amazing refurbishment at the moment. Thanks in part to huge donations from friends of Herne Hill. So all riders, it just track cycling, and particularly down in South London, has a really strong history and heritage.
When I sit here and look at Kat-Marie Grage going full speed, I mean, she is a former Olympic speed skater. So this going round and round, it's her turn.
Yeah, you're right. And it's also in anti-clockwise, it's the same direction the speed skaters go. So she's used to turning left, huh?
Now we have Rikke Lønning again taking the lead here. Closely followed by Emma Norsgaard from Team Rutger.
And Christine has managed to get back on, and she's in 3rd. This is a really important time of the race to get your positioning right.
Yes.
I'd be very surprised if anyone attacks. I think they're all just going to race full gas to the finish. No one's got the strength, as you said, to clip off the front. They all know they're going to get a good result, whatever happens, probably a top 5 or 6. So they're hopefully all just going to work together and duke it out at the end.
But so now going out on the last round here. Oh, it's so exciting, ladies and gentlemen on Rapha Facebook. I hope you have the same feeling as Harry and I do here in the OB wagon. It is high speed. We have Rikke Lønning positioning herself in the front. And this is the long pace where you can really speed up, and that is exactly what Rikke does. It looks like there's a little hole, but it might catch up again here when we do the first turn coming up here.
Yeah, she's done really well. This was a part of the course where you could overtake easier because it's a long straight, but she's powering on through. It's a really impressive ride from her. She's been on the front almost the whole race and still on the front on the final lap.
Oh my God.
There's just a gap going to the Story Racing rider Monica Dew in 3rd as we go into 3 corners to go. And it looks like it's going to be between these 2 girls, huh?
And that is a shame, because we might have riders behind her that can do better. But because this gap is coming up now, they're unable to go up and close the gap. Let's see if they manage. Well, they're coming closer now.
And it's in the final, that was the final corner they've just taken now. And that's Rikke Lønning winding up the sprint. I don't think anyone's going to come around her, do you?
Closely followed by Emma Norsgaard. Let's see here. Emma Norsgaard on the inside. But, it looked like Emma.
Oh, no. It looked like a photo finish.
Yeah. I think it was Rikke Lønning.
In fact, it looks like Rikke Lorne actually put her arm out almost to say, no, that was my win.
That was my win. Oh, amazing. What a great race. These girls are so brave. Brave, brave women.
That was a fantastic. If Rikke Lorne has won that, she deserved it. She'll be the World Series champion. She raced off the front all day. But it looks like she actually got pipped to the win by Emma Norsgaard.
Oh.
But being in second, Rikke still takes the World Series title, so congratulations to her.
So we have in the top lead here, we have Emma Norsgaard, Team Rutger in the first place. We have Danish Rikke Lorne from Team Crescent in the second. We have on the third place from Team Wahoo, Kat-Marie Grage. Very, very exciting.
And now I think we're going to cut down to Matt, who is on the podium.
Vinderen af Women's Elite, Rapha Nocturne, Rikke Lorne.
Okay.
Har vi Emma Norsgaard. Tredjepladsen har vi Monica Liu.
Okay. Matt is getting very excited in here. That was a fantastic race, so congratulations to the elite women. I'll be back in a second when this guy is quieter.
Med deltagelse af de stærkeste og hurtigste drenge her i Danmark, samt hamrende dygtige kriteriumryttere fra England. You can go inside Øksnehallen to see the podium in there. Matt is gonna deliver.
Okay, let's try that again. I think my colleague Mads outside has just calmed down a little bit now. Fantastic racing from the elite women. We'll have their podium presentation a bit later on alongside the elite men. But first, it is time for the podium presentation for the fixed gear Criterium men's race. Fantastic racing once again here in Copenhagen. Don't you agree that Copenhagen looks fantastic tonight? Yes? Does Copenhagen look good tonight? That's it. More cowbell. We need more cowbell. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, we're not going to mess around. In third place in the men's fixed gear Criterium, taking the coveted Rapha Nocturne cap and also a Trek Concept Store voucher from the 8-bar team. Give it up for Tim Cereza. Good work, Tim.
Thank you.
Congratulations. In second place, taking also the Rapha Nocturne cap, still available to purchase if you can't win one on this stage, and also a Brooks leather rucksack from the Suicycle track team. It is Timon Schubert. Come on, louder.
Thanks.
Here you go. There's your cap, sir. Enjoy. Okay, taking a whole host of prizes for winning the fixed gear Criterium. He gets some BO Sound H4 headphones, champagne of course, 1 month of Vitamin Well water, and to spray over his teammate, some champagne as well. From Team 8-bar, it is David Van Eerd. Your jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the podium, the men's fixed gear Criterium. Round of applause, please.
So Rapha Facebook, I would just say thank you for today. Rapha Nocturne, Copenhagen, it's been a pleasure to comment on the women's elite race here. I will give the microphone over to Mads Herschen, who will now comment on the men's elite. Harry, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure commenting with you.
Thank you, Rika. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for all your knowledge of the Danish girls. You were invaluable.
Thank you, likewise.
So don't go away if you're watching on the Facebook Live broadcast, because we have the blue ribbon event of the evening, the Elite Men's Criterium, going to start in not long, 10 minutes I would say. Just to confirm there that Ulrika Lorna won the series for the elite women, as she had won all 3 of the sprints. So a fantastic effort from her. She rode on the front all day. She just got pipped on the end. She'll probably be slightly annoyed about that, but hey, World Series winner, not bad at all. And speaking of World Series winners, we have the JLT Condor team here, and they have the current series leader Graham Briggs, who also won the intermediate sprints in London, and who could be a big favourite for the win, as could Brenton Jones, who's the Australian sprinter on their team, who won Rapha Nocturne London. So I mean, they're coming mob-handed with 2 other guys that could win as well. They've got Ed Clancy, multiple Olympic champion in team pursuit, and also John Mould, another fantastic UK domestic racer. So there's just such a strong team. Of the teams that they could come up against that could actually compete with them, we've got Team Wiggins, who have come with 2 riders. They've got Mark Hester. Mark Hester's a local boy. He's a 6-day track rider. He's very motivated to win. I spoke to him last week, and he was just telling me, hey, this is where I live. This is big for me. I've got to really show my colours and show my friends and family that I have still got it and I'm still going to win. So that'll be good. He'll be supported, and well, perhaps depending on how Mark's legs are, because he's actually coming back from an injury, so it's difficult to tell how fit he'll be. But you've got Reese Howells from Team Wiggins, who is a former Rapha employee, a friend of all of us at Rapha, and we're wishing him the best. I think he could certainly go for a top 5 today. He's had a fantastic season in his first season for Team Wiggins. So that's the young British team that we have. And then there's probably who I would expect to be the favourites to come up against JLT is the Scandinavians, put together by Vitamin Well, one of the sponsors, one of the companies that sponsor. They've got a real crack squad, let's hope not, crack squad of, as I mentioned earlier, they've got 2 Olympic bronze medalists from the Danish team pursuit team in Rio 2016, as well as Fredrik Ludvigsson, who is a continental level rider for Christina Watches, and Jonas Alstrand, the Swede, who rides for Cofidis, the French pro-continental team. So the question being is, these guys have obviously got huge engines, power in their legs, raced at World Tour level, but will they have the technical ability that the Brits in JLT Condor have? It's going to be a really interesting one to see. I'm really looking forward to it. As you saw, this is a cobbled circuit. This is not like the Rapha Nocturne London. It's different. And yeah, so we will see what's going to happen. I think Matt is down and ready for... Here he is, standing at the finish line. Over to you, Matt. Sounds like Matt can't hear me. I will throw it to him in a minute. Who else have we got that might be up for a win? We've got the Mallorca Push Bikers from Bavaria in Germany. They're a strong team of 2 riders. You've got Hannes Baumgarten and Christian Grassman. 2 really good riders who focus a lot on the track, but that means they've got the leg speed. We're just going to go over to Matt on the finish line. Over to you, Matt. I'm afraid that we've had a few technical difficulties here and we can't hear Matt, who's still talking. I'm sorry, Matt. So we've got 50 riders on the start line of the Elite Men's. Looks like they're just doing their sighting lap at the moment, just getting used to the course, the corners. A lot of them, because there's so many races have happened and there's such a short time, a lot of these guys won't have even ridden the course yet. This will be their first time, and on such a technical course, that's quite important.
Mine damer og herrer, kære København, velkommen til Rapha Nocturne Copenhagen, som vi er ankommet. Vi afventer lige nu, at vi skal have eliteherrerne ud her.
So as we saw in the women's race, it was a battle between the Brits and the Danes, which is fantastic. And are we going to have the same thing here tonight? I really hope so. As the Rapha Nocturne goes international, this is the first ever time it's been raced internationally. If you're just joining us now, welcome. Allow me to introduce my co-commentator for this Elite Men's race. Mads, how are you, Mads?
I'm fine. What a fantastic evening tonight. Wow. I think we have seen some great, some beautiful, some ugly races. Wow.
we definitely have. And there you are, the Elite Men's field lined up on the start line, getting ready to race. Front and center, we've got Reese Howells of Team Wiggins. He's the big guy in the middle. Then you've got the JLT Condor guys out on the side there to the right. Will these guys go straight from the gun, or will they look at each other? Reese was telling me earlier that, you know, perhaps, given that this is a field that hasn't been racing against each other, there's a lot of different riders who've been racing different races. They don't know how strong they're going to be, how technically able they are going to be. Where in Rapha London Nocturne, JLT went from the gun and just strung it out. Are they going to do the same here? What do you think, Mads?
I can think a lot, but I actually spoke to the JLT guys some hours ago. They were in their casual clothes, coming in, having a look at Rapha Nocturne, watching the other races, and I asked them, okay guys, what are your strategy? Are you going hammer on from the start? And they told me they were actually going to do that.
Yeah, did they?
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, for the sake of everybody else in the field, let's hope they don't do that.
Yeah, of course, because there's a difference with the criteriums here in Denmark and in London, for example. You do a lot more of criteriums in London than we do here in Denmark. So, the elite racers from Denmark, they can do criteriums as well, but they are not as used to it as the English riders.
That's interesting.
So I told the GLT guys, if you're smart, then you just hammer on, because then you eliminate not all the Danish riders, but a lot of them, I believe.
You're not helping your countrymen out.
No, I know that, because that's because it's my former competitors. So if I can from the start, well, I do that.
Ah, I see. You've still a few old rivalries just kind of needling at you. So
not just a few.
To give some context for you, as Mads was an elite racer himself until your career was ended with a terrible accident, was it not?
Yeah, I was in an accident in the middle of a race. I crashed directly into a car in the middle of a race, driving against us. That's a strange story, but I had a lot of damages and injuries, but managed to fight my way back, not into the peloton, but today I'm a coffee rider, looking as good as then, but not riding as fast.
Hey, to look good is to already go fast, as the great French cycling writer Paul Fournel once wrote, and hey, you're the living embodiment of it.
You already won the race by looking good from the start. Wow. Yeah.
Hey, don't these guys look good? You can see we've got a few of the seeded riders out on the start line there. That's the JLT guys, and also the Mallorca push biker racer. I mean, what goes through your head when you're on the start line here, Mads? You can tell us from experience.
I think it's gonna be hectical from the start, I believe. There's gonna happen a lot. If the Danes have been smart, they have prepared themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they will all know that they will have had to have a good warm-up, because ultimately if it goes straight from the gun, you're going to go straight up to your maximum heart rate and just keep going. And if you're not warmed up, yeah. But what would you be thinking on the start line here? What would you be thinking right now?
Why did I sign up for this? No. I would be in my zone, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So not thinking
the UK
on a lot of things, just
Copenhagen to come here.
I'm gonna ride as hell.
Right as hell.
Yeah.
And I think actually it's important to note here that
Okay,
Criteriums are
gonna be delayed just a few minutes.
one of the more enjoyable parts of bike racing, no? There's more of a, certainly with the for the spectators at least, there's a carnival atmosphere because you can see that the crowd will see these guys
All the
maybe
way round.
30 times.
Yeah.
So it's not like a road race where you might see them once and that's it, they're gone.
They just go and they just pass you, and then you can wait 40 minutes for them to pass again. This is a lot more interesting and fun to watch as a spectator.
What kind of tactics can we expect from a crit race here, especially on a course that's technical like this, Mads?
Yeah, because it is technical. I would mean that the tactic should be keep in the front. Because if you're too far behind, then you're gonna fight your way to the front all the time, and you're gonna close a lot of gaps when leaving all the corners. So keep in front from the start.
We have 35 seconds. Guys, you're looking sharp.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You can, if you lose a wheel, the race could be gone.
Yeah,
so
sure.
that's why positioning is so important, and you don't want to be stuck behind somebody who you think might lose the wheel, because then it'll be hard to
it's
come
going
around
to be you who's going to put the effort in closing the gap.
14 seconds.
And every time you have to close the gap, every time you close the gap, you are losing. Oh, it's the countdown for the race now.
And here we go. And it begins. We hope you're as excited as we are watching live, and they've gone ahead of the gun.
Wow.
No surprise. Gentleman at the back there having a little bit of difficulty clipping in. Let's hope he's managed to get it and away.
And all the strategies we talked about, how are we going to start, we can find out now. How the riders are going.
And they're onto this big long straight, which is the longest straight of the whole course. So this is the real chance where guys can get to the front if that's what they want to do and just jockey for position before they take a very difficult technical corner, which you'll see coming up in about 10 seconds, which is a ramps up twice. Here they come over it now.
And you can see they were actually, they're out of their saddle. They are going fast.
Yeah, there's no doubt that they've dropped the hammer immediately. JLT, as they told you, have gone straight to the front. Reese Howes of Wiggins in third. There's all this difficult to move up here. And that looks like John Mould of JLT Condor and Graham Briggs right behind him in first and second, with Reese Howes of Wiggins in third.
Where's Mark? He was there.
And I think that's a couple of Vitamin Well riders in fourth and fifth.
It is. It's Kasper Folzak and Rasmus Kvadel.
Fantastic. So we've got a good mix of riders here at the front, as expected. We've got that British versus Scandinavia.
Yeah.
This is what we want to see. So already, Mads, that's the first lap. You can see how fast it is. It's fast and it's furious and it's fantastic. And JLT on the front, and you can see there's guys being dropped already at the back. And you know, imagine coming all this way and then that's your race, potentially done.
Yeah, if you travel from London and do about a minute 20 seconds, that's a shame.
Too right. And there's a real jockeying for positions here, and they've really gone out of the gates hard here. And it looks like it's still JLT Condor on the front. That's it, that's Graham Briggs.
They send Briggs out.
I think you're right. I think they're sending Briggs out on an early attack. He's proven in the past that he can win a crit on his own, ride solo the whole race, and it looks like he's got his two teammates potentially blocking behind him.
Yeah, for sure. They have to do that.
Tell me a little bit, and tell us a little bit about how blocking works in Criterium, Mads.
Blocking is probably the best dirty trick you can use in cycling. So when JLT sends Briggs out, doing an attack, they are actually not doing a great job right now. but sending Briggs out, his teammates should stay in the front and then stop pedaling.
And just slow down the pace.
Slow down. Because then the gap to Briggs increases.
Fantastic. Yeah, and for sure, that's something that we should expect from them if that's how they want to race.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they want to send if Briggs goes up the road and mops up all of the intermediate sprints, that puts him odds on to win the World Series.
Sure.
So certainly that's something that they could be aiming for. I'm not sure if they've quite decided yet between themselves, because John Mould is sort of sitting 3 or 4 wheels back.
I really don't understand what they're doing right now. That looks like a waste of power and watts in the pedal. Oh, it looks like it's Rasmus Kvade from Vitamin Well, from the Team Giant Castelli, who's taking the lead now.
Excellent work.
Yeah,
good to see the more local riders coming and putting on a show as well. They can't let the Brits come and beat them up.
No.
They need to show that this is their hometown.
This is their town. It's Copenhagen. Rasmus is a fantastic time trial rider, and actually doing quite good in criteriums like these.
Ah, yeah, okay. So that's Rasmus. We would say Quaid because we don't know how to pronounce his surname. He's the man who had a fantastic handlebar moustache a few years back, is he not?
The most beautiful in cycling of all time. All the old connoisseurs, they can't follow Rasmus with his moustache. It was beautiful.
Rasmus used to race for Colt Energy, did he not? He's quite well known. They raced quite a lot of the UK races.
He did, yeah. He did 2 years as a pro continental.
We'll know him. And it looks like he's using that time trial power to really just put an effort in on the front.
You can see the peloton in one straight line all the way down.
And just a little bit about the rules. There's going to be some
right now it's not
here today.
A fun time to be a competitor of Rasmus. You can see he's stretching the peloton.
He is. It looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah.
That could position it. So even though the second
and actually, the best part of this moment right now, that Rasmus is putting the hammer down and making it hard for all the others, is that Rasmus did a national race earlier today.
Oh, is that right?
And he won it. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
He told me that earlier today. Oh, Mads, by the way, the race I did today, I won it. That's quite cool.
That's very cool. Hey, it seems like maybe he's just kept the engine running all day, huh? Yeah. And it's still, it looks like he's gone straight into 6th gear.
Hasn't turned it off yet.
But that looks like Graham Briggs has now just come around to say, hey, you can't have it all your way, Rasmus. I need to show that we've got the power as well. That's the JLT Condor boys.
And we need to keep in mind, all the English guys from London, from Britain, it's pure luxury for them, because they have come here, slept at a nice hotel, prepared themselves all day, and all the Danish riders, they have been racing all day, and are going to do it tomorrow as well.
Okay, I see. You're getting your excuses in early for one of the British guys.
That's part of my job as a Danish commentator here.
There's a little bit of looking around now just to see if they've softened up the group enough. There's no one that's been actually dropped, really. It's just a nice long line, real stretched out like a concertina. We can see there's a Mallorca Push Bikes rider there at the back, and also Reese Howes from Team Wiggins. I can't see Mark Hester from Wiggins at all. So it looks like Reese is going to be the only one in contention from Wiggins. Just a reminder of viewers, if you've joined late, that the guys will be racing for 40-45 minutes plus 3 laps at the end, and there will be sprint creams every 10 minutes.
But now we can see how there's actually starting to establish a leading group, and then chasers around 4 or 5 seconds behind them.
Yeah, that looks about 15 riders, and if those guys don't act quickly, that's their race gone.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the course. You rode it earlier today. There's loads of cobblestones, loads of corners. Can you tell us how you found it and how you think it's going to affect the racing?
It's brutal. It's brutal. We can see on the screen now that they're doing the long stretch. That's fine. Also the cobbles, they're even, they're small. It's fine to ride them. Then we are going into the meatpacking district right here. And after this corner, we are going directly through the tunnel. And after this tunnel, we have 3 hard, narrow turns. The first one here, the right turn. Then we have 2 left turns going into the cobbles again. And when we enter the cobbles again, against the finish line, they are brutal. They're uneven, they're huge, they're, oh yeah. We can see the You can see the racers entering the couples here.
This is that final straight, the finish line straight.
Yeah.
So you can see it's very difficult. There's one of the racers there looks like he just clipped the barrier on that very technical final turn, and that's an absolute nightmare for him. And it looks like it maybe slowed up some of the guys behind him who got affected. Looks like he's not hurt himself, fortunately.
Looks like Tobias Mørkongstad from Rival Platform. He's a great Danish rider.
That's a real shame for him.
Please give these an applause. Yeah. Come on.
And this is coming over the line now, is maybe the third or fourth group on the line, in the race. But we've got this front group of 15 racers, and that's Rhys Howells of Team Wiggins at the back, just trying hard to stick on. Come on, Rhys, you can do this.
Now Rasmus has taken the lead again. You can see Kasper Folczak, also from Team Vitamin World.
He's in third wheel.
He's in third wheel, yeah. Then JLT, and I think it's Mark Seester from Team Bill Concept in the blue jersey.
And then there was one of the Mallorca push bike riders there as well.
Oh yeah.
You can see that. Look at the cobbles of the course there, and you can see the tape that's gripping up to give them a bit of grip on that corner. It's a very, very difficult course.
But wow, Harry, we have had no rain today. Wow. And I've checked the weather forecast all day and said, a little rain there, a little rain there. We've been lucky, there has been no rain. And if it would have rained, these couples would be like, in Danish we say, brown soap. And that means it's slippery as hell.
Or like an ice rink.
Yeah.
For sure, we've been very lucky with the weather today, because I'm told that this summer has been awful. Certainly in the north of Europe and in England it has been.
That's not true. It's been a nice tropical summer here in Denmark.
One of those traditional tropical summers.
Rain, rain, and rain.
And it looks like the group has split again. Rhys Howells has been dropped, I believe, of Team Wiggins. So we've got maybe eight riders in that front group. Again, led by Rasmus Qual. He's looking strong today, huh? He must still have the endorphins from his win earlier in the day.
He hasn't lowered his arm yet. He's still riding. Yeah, I won it.
So that was Ed Clancy in second wheel.
And then one of the local guys here from Copenhagen as well.
Oh,
in
fantastic.
The orange jersey. I can't see who it is.
He's doing very well to stick on this tough pace. We've got about 3 laps now until the first intermediate sprint, the first pre.
Yeah.
I think that Graham Briggs is going to really want to win this. I think it's more in his interests for the World Series to pick up points than the local guys who maybe aren't going to overtake him because he's so far ahead of them in the world standings.
Yeah.
But we will see. We will see. Maybe somebody wants to take home a little bit of extra cash, a little bit of pocket money to enjoy the evening.
Maybe.
For our international guest, welcome here to Rapha Nocturne. We have the elite race going on as of now.
So tell me how you think the experience of racing at night is, Mats. What makes it difficult for these guys?
I have never done a night race like this. It's the first time we have such cool, well done race here in Copenhagen. But I know that Mark Hester, the local guy from Copenhagen, from Team Wiggins, he said early on that the interesting thing about racing in the dark with the lights on the circuit is that the lights, as we can see here, creates a lot of shadows. So it's hard to see if there's a guy just behind you, just beside you, or in front of you.
Must make it quite confusing as well.
Yeah.
That's where the riders who have an amazing spatial awareness, that's where they can really come into their forte and they just know what's going on for them there.
Yeah.
There's a chase group of about 4 guys that are really trying hard to stick on, to get back onto this front group. Do you think they'll make it?
Nah. I know that Mark, who's leading them from Team Bill Concept, he's a strong rider. But I don't think they will catch them.
No, it's going to be difficult, especially if you've got guys like JLT who can just take it in turns on the front and keep sharing the workload with someone like Rasmus, who is an elite level time trialist.
You're never going to see them again.
No. And that's Graham Briggs with the white sunglasses on the front. Rasmus Qual in second wheel.
Clancy and
looks like they're doing well.
The gap now. Yeah.
Well,
They're bridging.
Good work to them. One of them's wearing a Rapha Cycling Club jersey, which is fantastic. Fantastic performance. So now we are leading into the first intermediate sprint.
And as you maybe can hear, the bell is ringing. So now we're gonna sprint.
And here comes the lead motorbikes just crossing the finish line. And it looks like one of the JLT guys, didn't see who that was. Was that John Mould? Oh no, that's it. We got the bell now, sorry.
We're going to the sprint lap now. It's just because we're so excited that, oh yeah, but okay, we're gonna wait a minute.
I'm glad you're as excited as I am.
Yeah, I am.
Come on, guys, sprinters left.
Do you think it's Briggs?
I think it's Briggs. I think John Mould's going to lead him out. Well, we will see. We will see. What do I know?
But then he's maybe going to deliver Briggs before getting into the corners.
Absolutely, yeah. I think so. You can. What happened in the women's race was during the intermediate sprints, as the pace accelerated into the sprint, they ended up dropping more and more riders. So let's see if the same thing happens here. You can see. That is John Mould. Oh no, that's Brenton Jones on the front there. I apologise. The Australian sprinter. That's
I think he's going to deliver. Briggs.
Looks like he'll be one of the two.
To the finish line.
We've just got 2 corners left.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to overtake those 2, they will have done a very good effort.
Yeah. He's getting delivered perfect. Yeah. He's off the sprint now.
Let's see, here we have the master MC. Let's see who takes these 5 points.
And it's Brenton Jones, Graham Briggs in second, and that looked like Rasmus Quayle in third.
Yeah.
So that's 5 points, 5 World Series points for Brenton Jones, who is also, along with Briggs, one of the favourites to take the title. Certainly, I mean, he's a fantastic sprinter, the Australian. He's 25, relatively young. He's actually just signed a contract next year for a pro-continental team in France. So he's a really talented racer. He's been absolutely knocking heads in the UK domestic circuit this season.
What about the experienced guy of the race? Mr. Clancy.
Oh yeah, who knows? He loves races like this.
Yeah.
Who knows? He's looks like he's sitting. He's sitting towards the back of that group. Maybe sitting pretty. Maybe in 8th wheel, for sure. He's won the Rapha Nocturne before in the past.
I know.
He's somebody that
he's ready for tonight.
We will see. What I would say is that if anyone can beat JLT Condor, it's going to be one of the Scandinavian guys, isn't it? Who do you think is the strongest sprinter out of Rasmus and maybe Tobias Winston? Yeah.
Between Rasmus and Kasper, I think it's Rasmus.
Yeah.
Here we have the front of the group here.
Just got a little bit more punch in him. Both of them were members of the Danish track pursuit team, were they?
Yeah,
not?
they
won the bronze medal at the Rio Olympics.
By Clancy.
Yeah. Oh, well, they'll want to get one over
and
here.
I believe that they would like to take the victory back while being here in Copenhagen.
Fantastic.
Clancy is not allowed to take the win tonight. No.
Fantastic. It'll be must be great for them to be racing from the track then onto a crit circuit like this, where you can really go elbow to elbow, not on the other side of the track.
They used to do that.
So
that's one of the things with these criteriums, because when being on a traditional road race, you can almost guess the rear wheel on the guy in front of you.
Yeah.
In these track races, you can't stay as close as on the road, because if you do that and you go into a corner, you get trapped.
For sure.
And then you're going into the road.
I know. I mean, even having said that, there has to be a certain level of trust that the guy in front of you is going to come around the corner, right?
And that's another issue. Not knowing the other competitors, how good are they in these corners?
For sure. I think by now they all kind of have an idea about who's good at cornering, who's not, what wheel they want to sit on or not. But
and who are you not going to sit on? Yeah.
Too right, especially the Cobbles goal. We are lucky that it didn't rain because the forecast was terrible yesterday for today.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see crashes. Well, maybe you do, but we don't want anybody to get hurt.
No. And through the whole day, we
Just had a few, yeah.
we only had 2 crashes.
Two.
And then Tobias Merck comes in this elite race.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd crash tonight.
It's really good because at the Rapha Nocturne London there were a few quite big crashes, especially in the women's fixed gear crit. They had to stretch one of the girls off and actually restart the race. So it's really good to see that we haven't had that so far here.
I've been there. It's not so funny.
Touch wood, touch wood. So these guys, they're averaging about 40 kilometers an hour, which might not, if you're a rider out there and you think, oh, maybe I could get up to 40 kilometers an hour, bear in mind how technical the course is, and they're going over cobblestones.
So if you're thinking, oh, I can do that, then no, you can't. not on a technical course like this. These guys are skilled racers, used to doing criteriums.
I think when you watch it, you really have to just appreciate the mastery and the bike handling, as well as the power, of course. But you can see someone like Graham Briggs on the front. He is a fantastic handler of a bicycle. But you can see he leans like a MotoGP rider into the corners. It's really amazing to watch.
It's not always the strongest rider winning these races. It's the most skilled, technical, skilled riders who wins them.
Absolutely. So I was speaking to Reese Howes earlier. Oh, and that was the fastest lap just set by Graham Briggs there. So it shows you, skilled riders with the power, they'll make the fastest laps. Actually, I was speaking to Reese earlier, the Wiggins rider, Reese Howes, and he was telling me that this circuit is actually more like a series of sprints because it's technical. So you're slowing for the corners, but then you're having to sprint out of it.
And then you're going to push all effort not to be dropped.
Exactly, because there's not many spaces where you can really just unwind over a long straight.
So you see this section here is all about doing and entering the corners precisely.
We've still got a fairly large group, I would say, given that we're a good 20 minutes into the race. Still together. I'd say there's about 15 riders in that group. You can see Ed Clancy towards the back. The Rapha Cycling Club race is still doing a fantastic effort to stay in there. There's Rasmus Quayle back on the front as he crosses the line again. Ah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Copenhagen, what a wonderful city to race bikes in.
This is cool. Come on, guys. This is cool. I gotta promote my own city.
København i Klampenborg, som stiller op her i dag og støtter med super dygtige rytter som Rasmus.
And this is truly the essence of Rapha Nocturne. Ride all day, race all night. Look at these pictures. Wow.
It's beautiful. It looks like we've got a little bit of... There you saw Kasper just come up and take a position there, making the most of that short straight bit to move up, keep himself well positioned. There he is in 4th wheel now. 3rd wheel even. We got Graham Briggs in 2nd.
I believe it's Niklas Larsen in 4th position.
Fantastic.
He just became European champion on the track.
So maybe a dark horse for the race, for the win today.
Could be.
You know, having track legs with fast cadence on a race like this, that's what you want.
And now the guys in the front start to lap some of the dropped guys.
Jeg har spillet mange løb. Det er virkelig spændende. Det har været en fantastisk dag herinde. Rapha Nocturne, jeg er en kæmpe fan. Vi har haft alt fra folding bike.
The riders are actually catching up to the motorcycle in front.
Og så kører man afsted alt man kan.
So he has to speed up before all the corners. Otherwise the riders are going to yell at him. And he's going too slow. Could you imagine that, driving that motorcycle through those small corners?
Completely. In the women's race earlier, you could really hear how hard he was having to rev to come out of each of the corners, because these guys are going to take the corners quicker than the motorbike. So still at the front, got Rasmus Quayle, the man with one of the greatest beards in pro cycling, formerly of the greatest moustache in pro cycling. He's looking good. And he's doing it quickly.
He's putting effort into it. Riding hard, riding fast.
What do you think Rasmus' tactics are here to put such an effort in? Do you think he's racing for one of his teammates? Because to me it would seem strange to be in the win for such a long time.
Yeah,
if you're racing for yourself.
You're right. If you want to win, you have to take it easy sometimes as well.
It looks like we've got about 3 laps until the next sprint here.
Maybe he's sitting, making it hard for the others, making it possible for Kasper Folczak to stand behind and not have to do any turns in the front.
Absolutely.
Maybe.
That would make sense. That would make sense, just to try and make the race as hard as possible, to try and tire out the JLT guys.
But as we talked about earlier, Rasmus won a race earlier today, a national race. Maybe he's just going to take it all today.
That would be fantastic to see. We saw
Briggs on his will there.
Although we saw in the women's race that the girl who ended up coming second, she had been on the front the whole race and she just lost the sprint, so maybe she was on the front for too much and just used up a little bit of her energy. But let's see, Rasmus is putting in a great ride here. Then all 4 of the JLT guys are in about the top 6 positions, so looking really strong.
Now for the first time it's actually Danes in the front of the race. Briggs is second, yeah. But it's Rasmus, Briggs, Kasper and Niklas Larsen as third.
Fantastic.
As fourth.
We've got the rivalry that we wanted, Mads.
Yeah.
Det her løb står professionelt arrangeret 8 kameraer, 2 droner. Der er 200 på arbejde her i Øksnehallen lige nu, som sørger for, at det her foregår til punkt og prikke efter alle regler og safety.
Okay, we're getting closer to the corner, entering the meatpacking district. And Harry, you told me earlier today a lovely story about the first edition of Rapha Nocturne was actually placed in a meatpacking district in London.
You're right, Mads. The first ever edition of the Rapha Nocturne was in 2007. That's 10 years ago. This is the 11th edition, the 11th year even. And it happened at the Smithfield Market in London, which is a meat market. And so I think there's a nice story in the fact that the first time we go international with the Nocturne series, it is in the meatpacking district.
We can say that.
And this is apparently well, as in New York, which is a very trendy area, the meatpacking district, it's also very trendy in Copenhagen.
Yeah, it is.
I think I've been told it's a good place to enjoy some chilled Carlsberg beer.
To go have a nice beer after the race for the riders. They don't have to walk that far to get to a nice pint. But there, yeah, it's true. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's a lot of people hanging out at cafes, restaurants, bars. It's a lovely area.
You'd be quite confused if you turned up on your Saturday night and suddenly there was a bike race going past, huh?
Depends on how many pints you have had.
In fact, the race has gone past a wedding party. I'm sure they booked that in a long advance. There's people flipping burgers next to the race course.
Yeah.
The poor bride probably didn't know what to expect.
No.
So we've got around half an hour left of racing. And Graham Briggs in the white sunglasses going back on the front, hotly followed by the Team Vitamin Well, 2 of their riders. There's about 9 guys in this front group as we're in the technical part of the course, which is 900 meters long. You can see they hop onto the cobbles here, slide through, and that is actually the final corner of the finish line straight.
Yeah.
So make sure, viewers, that you keep an eye on that.
There's a soft corner, but it's the important corner. It's the last corner down there.
Absolutely. So now we've gone into the sprint lap, the second intermediate Brie. So again, we should see the pace increasing as the guys look to place one of the JLT. I can't look past the JLT guys. What do you think? What do you think, Mads?
I think they're going to do it again.
Look at the motivation, and that almost look at that. Graham Briggs.
Is it Briggs?
I think that's Briggs almost catching a motorbike there, making a little bit of use of the drive.
It is Briggs, yeah. And then Kasper Folczak just on his wheel.
Ellersen, Rasmus Hesbæk Lund og
Looked like
Royce
Rasmus
på de
dropped a
næste
little.
4 pladser efter Kasper. Lad os nu se.
And now that's Brenton Jones has now gone into first wheel as they enter the technical part of the circuit. He's done really well to move up there. He won the first sprint. Looks like he's going to win the second sprint.
Lad os nu se, om ikke det
2 corners to go. Here they go round the penultimate corner.
Lap time 1 minut og 22
And there's Brenton looking round. He knows he's got the first wheel. Briggs on his wheel to block behind.
Jeg kan se motorcyklen.
He should take it easily.
Er det dansker?
Oh, that looks like Casper trying behind, but it's going to be the JLT Condor double again. Same as the first time round, eh, Matt?
Wow.
It's a good show of dominance from the JLT Condor,
I think
guys.
Rasmus is getting dropped.
Do you think?
At the moment. Yeah.
Maybe he's paying for that big effort earlier.
Yeah, he's done a lot of effort.
And also the race earlier this morning, let's not forget.
But if you look at this race, forgetting about that Rasmus won earlier, did a race earlier today, it's too early to deliver Casper, if that's his strategy.
So let's sum up. Should we do a little sum up of this front of the race? Who can we see? We've got about 10 riders at the front.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, it's going to be between these guys. There's no one else that's going to catch up.
No,
if they've
they
been dropped. A lot of guys will have been blue flagged, which means, given that they would have been lapped, they'll have been taken off the course.
They can chase all the ones, they're not going to catch them.
This JLT Condor still on the front, having a nice ding-dong battle with the Vitamin Well team, sharing turns on the front. I think you're right. I think Rasmus is... I think he's been dropped. I think he's been dropped. Oh, he's still in there?
He's last guy. But is that an attack we're seeing here? Who's that attacking there? Oh, they're...
Very difficult to see.
He's attacking very thick. Wow.
I'm afraid I cannot tell you who is attacked right now, Matt.
It's hard to see.
Oh, he's really working hard. That looks like Casper.
It's Niklas Larsen.
Ah, Niklas Larsen, fantastic.
Yeah, and Casper. Niklas Larsen and Casper. This is 1-0 for Denmark at the moment. Come on,
they're
guys.
just opening up a gap, and Briggs is trying
to
really
follow
hard.
them.
Come on, boys.
And you can hear the spectators.
Really excited.
They know
to
these
see
two guys. Wouldn't have been the same as was Briggs out there.
We got a race on now, haven't we, Mads? The group behind is splitting up into 3s and 4s.
Yeah.
As Casper and Niklas have attacked. And they're still going, and you can see Graham Briggs gritting his teeth to follow. It looks like Brenton Jones of JLT Condor is the only, the fourth man on the race. They're the only two able to follow. So it could be that this is the key moment in the race where it becomes a race between 4.
I think they've traded 2 to 3 seconds at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah, you can see there's definitely 3, there's daylight between them. That was a crucial move, a beautifully timed move from the 2 local guys.
Right there, they did it right there. Crossing the finish line, last lap, Niklas and Casper attacked. Well done, guys.
I'm sure they worked on that. Maybe that was all part of the plan. Maybe Rasmus just rode really hard on the front to soften everyone up. Then they went into it
for an attack.
But you can see there's a Mallorca push bikers rider doing a really good effort to try and bring it back. So maybe it isn't being so decisive. That looks like Casper still pushing on. Graham Briggs has a look round. Maybe he knows that he's covered the move, and they're all back together again. Yep, still all 9 guys back together. There's slight gaps between them. But that looks like Christian from the Mallorca Push Bikers still has managed to close the gap from those front 4. But I think you can see who the strongest riders in the race are at the moment, Nomads.
Yeah. It's certainly Niklas, Casper, Briggs,
and Brenton Jones.
Sure.
For sure. I think what you would want to do now, while everyone else has just got back on, is attack again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then you can drop the others.
That's what you would think, while everyone else is absolutely in the red.
But it's easy to sit here as a commentator and say, oh, now it's easy from here. You just have to attack again. And then sitting on the bike, you're sitting with your pushing your limits, not at 99%, but at 100%, giving all the effort you can.
Tell us what it feels like to be on the ribbon like this. That looks like another rider's come to the front.
It looks like Magnus Barclays, or is it Rasmus Bøberlin? Can't really see it.
Again,
no, it looks like Magnus. And Magnus, he did La Marmotte this year, and actually finished. He finished 5, I think.
Good result.
So he is fast in the mountains as well.
It's nice to see another rider showing his face at the front.
But he's proving he's fast as a Criterium as well.
Absolutely. We've still got these 10 guys all together, but Graham Briggs of JLT-Con and marking on the moves. He is really, really impressive rider at Criteriums.
Det så svært at lukke de her huller, så fuldstændig fantastisk, at vi nu har fået 10
So that was Magnus Gladys.
Yeah, it was Magnus.
So is Magnus Danish?
Yeah, he is. He's a local guy. He's actually working in the Rapha club.
Ah, he works in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Good on him. Showing his face this late, this deep into the race.
Maybe,
with all of these elite
a
racers.
strategy. Why earlier if you can do it now?
For sure.
Letting all the other guys do the work.
That's him in the black.
Casper is still in front with Briggs.
Yeah. And that was Magnus Gladys there in third wheel in the black and white sort of referee style strip.
Yeah.
He's an American football referee.
We call them the zebras here in Denmark.
There's Graham Briggs again, just leaning into the corner, showing his experience, marshalling the race from the front.
First time in the front for what?
Maybe he's saying, okay guys, you've had your fun, let's just put a handle on it, let's just keep this together, let's not go too crazy.
Ja, lad os se, vi har Master MC, der kommer om hjørnet her. Jeg skal se, om jeg kan nå at følge med. Kasper Folter, Magnus Barclays, Niklas Larsen.
Okay, we can see here it's the Danish guys leading.
I top her, men det jo altså fantastisk.
In the race, or is it still Briggs in front? Is it an attack again? The same place. When going out to the long road here, they attack because they can build up speed here and drop the other guys.
See, that stretch is just past an old Bosch factory. All of these warehouses, used to be. This was such an industrial zone, wasn't it? And there's still Briggs on the front.
It was, yeah.
Going through.
Briggs tried an attack. Split the group.
And that, for those who are watching and interested, who the Rapha Cycling Club member at the back is, that is Jasper Bukaj, I believe, who is a vlogger who is, well, he's clearly an amazing elite athlete. Yeah, he is racing in RCC colours today. There he is, sitting on the back in the grey and black of the Rapha Cycling Club, putting a great race in.
And then we got Jonas Alstrand in the black suit. Jonas, he's actually a pro rider. He's riding for Cofidis.
That's right, yeah. Pro continental rider. Perhaps more used to riding on longer road races, but he's coming in for the Bitumen World team and still in this front group of about 10 riders.
Let's see how the next team will position themselves. Oh, it's a huge gap now. Nobody to be seen. Nobody to be seen here.
What do you think, Mads? Do you think that maybe the pace has just slowed down ever so slightly?
They were looking at each other.
There was a little bit of... and now there's an attack. There was a little bit of an attack out the corner there.
Niklas again. You can see Niklas. He's wearing sunglasses. And that's... I'm going to tell you afterwards. You don't have to wear sunglasses at night races.
I think he's got an F for style, surely.
Yeah, let's do that.
So that way you could see him was really wrenching on the bars as he came out of that corner. It looked like he was trying to have a dig, but again, it's been marked by JLT Condom, who, I mean, will be so motivated to wrap up the series win for one of their riders, whether that be Briggs, whether that be Jones. Oh, he's really rocking side to side, doing a good. He's quite a slight rider, isn't he? He's not very stocky compared to your usual Criterium racer.
No, that's true.
He's obviously very powerful.
Niklas is a light rider.
Yeah.
Where you see Rasmus, for example, he's a compact, strong rider. But even though we say he's a light rider, he's in the front now.
Yeah.
So he can do these Criteriums. What about Briggs? Briggs is not that tall, but is he a light rider or is he a more compact kind of guy?
He's kind of, I'd describe him as a little ball of muscle.
Oh yeah.
He's got the perfect physique for crit racing. Yeah. Really low, he can take the corners, like real lean into them, and he's very, very strong. Real punchy rider. He's been a legend on the UK crit scene for the last 10 years.
But I also read about him that he is fantastic in those long races where you just have to keep the same pace for a long time.
A really impressive rider. He can do it all. And here he is, still on the front of the race. In the white sunglasses. And he's still got all of his teammate. Ed Clancy, he's been sitting towards the back the whole race. We haven't seen him at all.
He's maybe moving forward now.
It'll be interesting to see whether that's because he's just hanging on or whether he's just saving it all, you know?
Yeah.
I'd like to see another attack now, man. Whoa, he's taking that corner. Briggs took that corner hard.
Briggs is riding to make it hard for all the others. You can see when he's leaving all the corners, he looks behind and then he's pushing it.
It's an amazing ability to be able to be on the rivet like that and still be able to look around and see what's happening in the race behind you.
Power all the time.
And now we see Clancy on the front for the first
time tonight.
Ed Clancy, multiple Olympic champion in the team pursuit, hugely talented. He's got some of the widest shoulders you'll ever see in cycling. He's like call him the coat hanger.
Then we're gonna measure him and me. Because Abdullah got the widest shoulders in cycling as well. But
I think I read a story once that Ed Clancy considered breaking his collarbones in order to shorten his wingspan so that he was more aerodynamic on the track. I don't know whether that's true or not.
Cyclists do everything
to be more aerodynamic.
But is Ed slowing down now and taking the pressure off?
No, I think
Copenhagen,
you can see there's not a lot of stress when
he's a very smooth rider, isn't he, as well, though? Really. And with that wide wingspan, it'd be nice to sit behind him. You get a nice draft.
But you can see when Briggs is leaving the corners, he's sprinting out of them. Ed, he's taking it more easy. Maybe he wants a bit of control of the race.
Og så har vi ikke mindre end Team Cranks and Podium Presentation.
We have Briggs at the front again, Kasper right behind him, Ed Clancy, and then some of the German riders from Aloha push bikers. I don't know if it's Hannes Baumgartner or Christian Grassman. I don't know.
I think they were both in that group.
Oh, they are. I can see both.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. There's Briggs on the front. Yeah, another little sprint out the corner, look round, just having a look, just seeing how the other guys are doing. Briggs, this is the average lap. They're lapping at 1 minute 24 average at the moment for the 900 meters, and the fastest lap was 1:17. So you can see that at some point there must have been a real acceleration by Briggs.
They're doing quite faster than all the other races we've seen today.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. But not completely strung out, so at the moment, not extremely fast.
And next lap, the sprint lap will be announced. So we are going for the third and the last sprint tonight. And is JLT going to take all of it again?
I think for sure, Mads. And they've got another man, fresh legs on the front to be able to just lead it in. I've actually just had a text from Reese Howells, the Wiggins guy, who it looked like had been dropped. He just said he made the split and then his chain fell off. And that's the cruel nature of this kind of crit racing. I mean, that would have been a huge result for Reese to still be in this front. And then his chain falls off. And because the race is so quick, you can't take a lap out. No. Your race is done.
Yeah.
Ain't bike racing cruel.
You can't chase these guys and get back.
No way.
It's simply impossible.
No way. So,
okay, the bell is out.
The bell must be one of the nicest sounds to hear as a bike racer. Or maybe not for the intermediate sprint, but certainly for the end. It's the opposite.
But then you know, oh, come on, we're going to go faster than this. But fourth time you hear it, then you know, okay,
then you know.
Last lap. At last.
So it looks like we've got a little bit of moving in positions here. Is that one of the Mallorca push bike? No, that's Rasmus back on the front again. No, it's one of the Mallorca push bike riders on the front for the first time of the race.
It's Christian or Hannes.
Ah, good work, Christian.
Hannes Baumgarten or Christian Grassman.
Those two guys didn't race in London, so it's really nice to see them in Copenhagen and putting a great pace on.
Then you have Briggs in front again.
So we have had 2 sprint laps and this
aiming
is
for the
one. And I just say
for the sprint points.
And there we go. Once again, we've got Briggs and Brenton Jones in that final corner, leading the way for the third and final pre. Do you think Jones will let Briggs take this one? He did.
He did, yeah, wow.
These two guys are playing with everyone. What do you think?
On these 5 points, trying to look down over my
and Briggs won in London the sprint competition.
Briggs won the 3 intermediate sprints, and then Brenton Jones won the actual final sprint.
Okay.
3 points and 1 point. Very exciting. The riders now.
So both of them are collecting points.
Absolutely. So I think they're covering their backs, so they know that it doesn't matter between who of them who wins the World Series, as long as they keep it within the team. So now Brenton Jones is on the front, the Australian.
So cyclists are some bad boys, arranging all of it in advantage. Okay,
actually,
are you going to take it?
If you look now, it looks like Briggs was doing a little bit of blocking there to allow Brenton Jones to take an attack.
You're right, Harry.
And that's forced. There you go.
Casper
you see Briggs was blocking there.
Yeah. Casper is going to follow, and one of the Maloma push bikers is going as well.
And we got Brenton Jones with about 10 minutes left to race, is attacking the race. He's a sprinter, but he's still going for it. Good for him.
And he's establishing a small group with himself.
And Casper was that.
Casper, yeah,
just
Casper
those two. And this is the chance for them to really push on down this long straight.
But if they have to, if they're going to succeed with this, they're going to work together.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the other guys will catch them quite fast.
Absolutely. That was classic racing there by JLT Condor and Graham Briggs. He knows the game. I saw him, he was just slowing, really tugged on the brakes, almost brake checking, forcing the other guys to go round him to then chase Brenton, who was attacking. But it actually looks like it might come back together again. One of the Mallorca pushbike riders is chasing on.
Yeah.
As Casper goes on the front now, and they're all back together again.
Okay,
entering the last corner, going up to the finish line.
And look at the pace the riders are
Who's in front now? It looks like one of the JLT guys. I couldn't see who. I think it was Brenton Jones. What about John Mould? We haven't seen him for a while.
Yeah, John's a brilliant UK domestic racer. He's been winning races for the last few years.
Yeah.
He's just part of this JLT Connor team, who is so strong, probably the best on the circuit. He's slightly younger than the other guys, Ed Clancy and Graham Briggs, but still equally strong. And I mean, it's amazing to have such strength in depth. There's John, and it looks like actually John Mould is back towards the back of that group. And there's Maloko Pushbike's rider on the front, Brenton Jones in second wheel, and then that's Casper in third wheel, is it not?
Yeah. But you can see the attack made.
There's a little bit of a split, isn't there? There is a little bit of a split. And it looks like those back six riders are going to have to work hard to keep on.
And I think it's Jonas Elstrand
finding the pace difficult.
Yeah. And at this moment of the race, it's not funny to close all those gaps.
Oh, it's not funny at all,
no.
I don't think. Oh, they're trying hard,
not in the beginning either, but now, oh,
I know.
Your legs are hurting as hell.
Take us through, if you can, Mads, a little bit about what it's like to be racing on the river, but also having to focus so hard on your handling of the bike. How do you do that as a racer?
Stop thinking about it, I think. This is a lot of calmer talk, but be one with your bike. You don't have to steer it. You just have to do it.
So you don't, yeah, that's it. Don't think about it.
No.
It should be natural, right?
If you're thinking about it, looking at the corner, you're going wrongly into the corner.
And once again, Graham Briggs gets back onto the front, and we have this front group of 10 riders all together.
You see Briggs, Clancy, Casper, and Niklas Larsen, the 4 first riders.
It's a great effort from these guys on the back who are still hanging on. I mean,
they closed the bridge again.
Yeah. And that's that final corner again. Viewers, make sure you get that in your mind, because whoever goes into that corner with 1 lap to go, he could be the winner. It'll be hard to overtake. And there you see they're bunching up a little bit. Pace has slowed slightly after those early attacks.
Oh, see there. In the corner, the pace went down.
And again, along this long straight, Graham Briggs sitting on the front. We've got the real battle of Britain versus the Scandinavians here, and it's great to see. Looks like the Scandinavians certainly won in the women's. They took the top 3. Danes took the top 3 placings. I don't think that's going to happen here in the men's race, but certainly guys like Casper and Jonas looking really strong.
They are, and when entering and passing the finish line next time, we have 6 laps to go.
And just a little note about the World Series here. As expected, it will be very difficult for anyone but Brenton Jones or Graham Briggs to win the World Series.
And they are teammates.
Yeah.
How are they going to do it?
Do you think they'll agree between themselves? I don't think so. I think because they won't know how quick that these Scandinavian guys are at sprinting, so they'll just want to get. I think they'll put Brenton Jones for the final sprint.
Are they sleeping at the same room at the hotel? Then it would be awkward tonight.
It certainly would be awkward. So 6 laps to go. That means we've got about 8 minutes of racing left. 8 minutes of the fastest crit racing you can see. A really technical couple corner. And who's that on the front again? Is that Rasmus?
I actually think it is, yeah. It's Rasmus, yeah.
What an effort.
Wow.
And he's pushing on. That's really impressive. He's obviously had a little bit. It looked like we thought. Oh, he took that corner hard. Looked like he was maybe tiring earlier, but maybe he was just resting after his early efforts on the front.
Oh, he's riding fast as hell now.
Looks like Rasmus is attacking. Yeah, he is. Whoa, that's a technical corner. This is a big move from Rasmus Kuala. A really big, and he's actually got a little bit of daylight as he comes towards the finish line with 5 laps to go. All the guys behind are doing really well. Malof, the push biker, is working to pull him back.
5 laps, okay. 5 laps to go, Harry. This is going to be interesting to see who has some power left in their legs.
For sure, and there's still 10 guys here. I mean, we presume that the guys at the back aren't going to be able to do anything, but you don't know. Maybe they've been bluffing the whole race and, and they're holding on.
But it's hard to bluff at these kind of races, because if you're sitting at the back, you have to close these gaps all the time, using a lot of power there.
So again, we've got Rasmus Kuala on the front, still putting a big power. Oh, but it looks like, here we go, Ed Clancy's just moved past him to sit on the front.
Yeah.
Shaking the head, look behind him. Here he is. There's 2 JLT Condor guys at the front. Ed Clancy and Graham Briggs. And Casper on 3rd wheel, wasn't it, behind him?
It is, yeah. And Rasmus just behind him.
Casper Fulsack, European track champion, wasn't he recently?
No, that's Niklas Larsen from Team Bill Concept.
Casper Fulsack.
There's a lot of track guys out there. Both English and Danish.
Casper was part of the Team Pursuit that won bronze medal of Truth.
Yeah.
That's 4 laps to go.
He can drive in circles as well.
They were all very good. They're all very good at riding anti-clockwise.
And as we can see here, they can ride couples, technical corners as well. Wow, they're riding fast tonight.
Yeah, and faster now. You know, I said it would be 8 minutes to go, but they'll be doing these laps even quicker as they ramp up towards the end. And there's JLT on the front with Ed Clancy, Graham Briggs in 2nd wheel still, Casper Fulsack in 3rd.
As a bike rider, when you see the race director saying 5 laps to go, showing with their hand 5 laps to go, what something
changes.
Starts. Okay. Wow. A whole another mindset turns and appears and said, okay, I'm gonna kill this. Looks like Mr. Ed Clancy, he's taking the lead again, taking control of the race.
He looks good, doesn't he? He looks steady. He's
very smooth.
Yeah, he's pushing
through the corners.
Big gear, but through the corners.
Yeah.
Look at that slow cadence.
3 laps.
3 laps to go, guys. 3 laps to go. We're coming towards the end of the big event of the Rapha Nocturne Copenhagen, the first international event. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to take home the prize for the first time that these guys have been abroad? This race has been abroad.
I think that Rasmus is going to put in an attack again.
Do you think? Oh, you've got to pick one of the local guys.
For sure.
I hope Rasmus puts in an attack, because if he doesn't, then I think it's JLT Condor's race to lose. And here he is again on the front. Come on, Rasmus.
And you can see I've done my job when I get you to cheering him. So, yeah, completed.
I just want to see good racing, lads.
That's what we're here for.
And there's Rasmus. Leaning into the corner.
Rasmus, Clancy, Casper, Briggs.
And I'm just amazed at what I've seen here all day.
But still, none of the guys at the back have been dropped. They're doing really well to hang on.
What about Jones? Brenton Jones?
I think he's got to be the favourite.
Yeah.
For sure. He's proven he's got real fire in his legs. He's clearly feeling well after that attack he made earlier. I think he's the favourite for the sprint today. 2 laps to go. Just over a few minutes left. Keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be an exciting one.
Riders ready to challenge.
The faster the guys race now, the earlier they can go for a point at the bar afterwards. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I wonder if any of the pubs will still be open. It's 11 o'clock local time, Matt.
Yeah, but there's a difference in England and Denmark.
That's true.
We never close.
In England, we've all drunk our alcohol. We're almost ready to go home at this time. And here we go. We've got a Mallorca push bikers rider on the front now. It's great to see different riders all taking a turn on the front, just trying to keep the race going fast.
They are part of this race. They're not just in it, they are part of it.
And just a slight split with the last 5 guys struggling to hold the wheel at the back. That looked like Ludvigsen just losing the wheel there. And we have the bell lap in this Rapha Nocturne Copenhagen. We have a Mallorca push bikers rider leading on the front with the JLT Condor team right behind them.
The final lap at the first international event here at Rapha Nocturne. This is going to be interesting. Come on, guys.
Into that long straight we go. And into that final corner, and looks like Ed Clancy on the front now. Ed Clancy, Graham Briggs, second wheel. And the race is splitting up with this pace.
They are done for tonight.
JLT putting in a massive effort.
Briggs are going.
Clancy's job's done. He's led out. Briggs is now first wheel. Brenton Jones sitting in second wheel. Casper Polsak in third. It's going to be between these 3 guys, man.
Yeah, I believe so.
Penultimate
Is it Brenton
corner.
Jones just after Briggs?
Brenton Jones is in second wheel. That's Graham Briggs leading out Brenton Jones into the final
Here
corner.
are the couples. Come on, guys. This is the sprint.
And Briggs is really riding it up. I think he's going to take the win.
Is it Briggs? It is Briggs.
Brenton Jones
Wow.
second and
Graham
Casper
Briggs.
Polsak in third. So Graham Briggs wins the Rapha Nocturne Copenhagen as well as the World Series. Congratulations to him. That is a fantastic ride from JLT Condor. They were the favourites and they delivered. Really impressive riding, man. Really impressive riding.
I hope you guys have enjoyed the race as much as Harry and I have.
Absolutely. And you can see that those 3 clearly were the strongest riders in the race throughout. They were the ones that were always at the front. Perhaps Rasmus did a really good effort, but maybe he did too much. That was
Maybe he did too much. Maybe he did too much. Yeah.
really impressive from...
but it's okay. He won 1 race today already, so I think he's okay.
2 would have been greedy. So that's Graham Briggs, one of the best UK domestic riders in the last 10 years, taking a win. He's still one of the best sprint racers in the world, as proven today.
Was it 2014 he had 14 victories? I think so.
Say that again, sorry, man.
Was it 2014 that Briggs had 14 victories or something?
Yeah, something like that. He's been a dominant force on the scene. Unmistakable, low style, and still one of the best. And Brenton Jones in second. Brenton won in the Rapha Nocturne London, and Graham now in the Rapha Nocturne Copenhagen. The 2 events of the year in this series. First time it's gone international, and JLT Condor have dominated it.
This has been a beautiful race here at the Meatpacking District in Copenhagen.
And there you can see the Mallorca push biker riders just having a little chat post-race. They made a really good effort, especially given that they're more track specialists compared to the JLT Condor team, who race a lot of crits in the UK scene, which is incredibly strong.
You're right. And now, as we can see, our sports director Gary here at the right at the screen. He can take it easy now. He can take it easy.
I think we can all enjoy a beer after this. Yeah. I hope you're enjoying a beer at home if you're watching live online on Facebook Live.
That's how to watch cycle racing.
Especially if you've been out for a ride today, it's well deserved. I think these guys have really earned their beers tonight as well. And being so late at night, they could probably go straight to the club, Matt? And there's the Copenhagen
directly from the bike directly into the bar. It's a possibility.
And they can here. Too right. Too right. So how did you find it? The first ever Rapha Nocturne in your city?
It's been an amazing day. Wow. You can feel it's another level than traditional bike racing. This is more casual, but even with the fast guys coming, you can feel the atmosphere, and it's lovely, it's fun, it's partying all day.
Why not? You can still have elite level racing and have a bit of a festival and partying at the same time.
Yeah, sure.
I couldn't agree more. You know, you can take people could take bike racing too seriously, but it's about fun too, you know.
And as we talked about earlier, doing the men's mixed races, we talked about white socks, black socks, and traditional cycling. It's maybe too boring. The colored socks and the colored flashy bikes, that's what it's all about. And it's lovely to see some festival mixed with traditional bike riding.
Oh yeah, and that's what the rapha Nocturne has been all about. And there you can see on screen the confirmation of today's podium. Graham Briggs from Great Britain in first, JLT Condor racer. Second place from the same team, 25-year-old, the young gun, the sprinter Brenton Jones from Australia. And in third place, Kasper Fulsak from Denmark, local boy on the podium. You must be happy with that.
I must be happy. You guys came, took it all. British guy, Graham Briggs, took it all. But we still have Kasper on the podium, taking third place.
Too right. Too right, and so shortly we'll be heading for the podium ceremony.
Yeah.
Where there will be some champagne sprayed and some prizes given.
If you haven't followed us all night, Graham Briggs from JLT Condor took the win at tonight's rapha Nocturne here in Copenhagen, the first international event in the World Series of rapha Nocturne. Brenton Jones, also JLT Condor, took second place, with Kasper Fulsak taking third.
I think a word for Team Wiggins racer Reese Howes, who this is his first year racing full-time. He used to work at rapha. He was the club secretary of the Rapha Cycling Club. He made that front split today and then got a puncture. I mean, talk about bad luck.
It's not always easy to be a bike rider.
No, she is a cruel mistress, isn't she, by racing?
It is.
Luckily, it was really good. We see the ambulance there, but no crashes in the elite men's race today, despite how technical the course was. I must admit, when I first rode it, I was worried. I was worried for the guys.
Yeah.
Another shout out, please.
They've showed their skill. They've showed their ability to race full gas and not take risks. Really, really, really impressive.
So in a few minutes, Matt is ready at the podium, sharing all the champagne
Let's
with
hope
the winners.
Maybe he'll keep a bottle for us for fourth place.
Could be nice. Could be nice.
If you're still watching with us live, just hold on and you can see the podium celebrations. The rapha Nocturne will be continuing in 2018, and we will continue to go international. We haven't confirmed the destinations yet, but let's hope it will go somewhere like the USA or wherever, and we can take it even more international. We can bring even more racers from different countries.
Skilled, interesting riders.
Exactly. And I think that was a really great thing about today, was that the local riders really came and put on a show, and they dominated the women's elite race and then got on the podium of the men's race. So it just shows that in any country there's elite racers who are ready to front up and put on a show.
Yeah. It's gonna be lovely to follow rapha Nocturne, the World Series.
Does it make you want to get back on your bike?
Listen up, Emma Norsgaard.
Yeah, but still as a cafe rider, as a coffee rider.
And Rikke Lerner as well.
Is there as big as a coffee culture here in Denmark as there is back home in the UK?
I'm sure.
Is there?
I'm sure, yeah.
What's
It's all about the coffee stops on your training rides. It's all about the coffee stops.
For sure, for sure. And I imagine for most of you watching back home, that is the same. It certainly is for me too.
but the most ridiculous part, I am one of the best coffee riders here in Denmark.
Oh yeah.
I've given myself the title, but even though I'm the best and best looking coffee rider,
and the most humble.
Yeah, for sure. I don't drink coffee, but that's another part of the story.
Hot chocolates all around then. So just 2 more minutes until the podium presentation, and then you will see your top 3 racers spray the champagne and hopefully get the cameraman nice and wet.
And the top 3 being Graham Briggs from JLT Condor.
Brenton Jones.
Brenton Jones. I was just looking for the name. That's the reason for the awkward silence. But Brenton Jones did second, also JLT Condor, and at third we got Kasper Folsak.
If you want to, if you're watching and you've enjoyed watching the live footage, but you maybe want to see some beautiful photos from the race, I recommend following the Rapha Instagram. We've had Marshall Capel, who's a brilliant cycling photographer, out on course all day, uploading some of his pics to the account, so you can follow that, or search the hashtag Rapha Nocturne, and there you'll just see all of the photos that people have taken from today's race.
Yeah. You can do the course from home.
And so now we're going to go for the podium presentation. That's goodbye from me and goodbye from you.
Have a nice evening out there.
And guys, just stay tuned. Matt is going to do the presentation.
Time for the final podium presentation of the evening. After what I'm sure you'll agree has been a fantastic first Rapha Nocturne in Copenhagen. Don't you think so? Come on. Look, come a little bit closer. Come a little bit closer. You want to see the riders. Come on. Get up. Come a bit closer. That's it. That's it. Let's get some atmosphere in here. Okay. So first up, it's the winners of the Elite Women's Criterium. Can we just bring the music down a little bit, please, DJ? Just bring the music down a little bit, please. Bring the music down just a little bit, please. Can anyone talk to the DJ so he can hear what I've got to say? Thank you very much. Thanks, Martin. That's Martin, everybody. He's going to get the DJ to turn it down. Yeah, round of applause for Martin. There he goes. Former pro cyclist himself, I'm sure you can tell. Okay. In the third place on the podium, who takes the Rapha Nocturne cap, fantastic keepsake of tonight, 400 Danish kroner, which is about 40 British pounds. From Story Racing, Monica Dew. Round of applause, please. Welcome, Monica. Congratulations. In second place, local woman taking the Rapha Nocturne cap, 500 Danish kroner. From Team Rutger, Emma Norsgaard. And the winner of the first Rapha Nocturne here in Copenhagen, also taking away some B&O Beosound H4 headphones, the champagne, 1,000 Danish kroner, 6 months vitamin well water, and a very special Rapha winner's jersey. From Team Crescent Dare, it's Rikke Lerner. Congratulations, Rikke.
Thank you.
What it also means in winning the race tonight and winning so many of the intermediate sprints points, you are also the Rapha Nocturne World Series champion. Round of applause, please.
Thank you.
What does it mean to you?
I don't think I realized how big it is right now. I just attended this race to have fun, and all of a sudden I was in the lead and kept being in the lead, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay here. So I tried.
Not easy though, and especially as we got, you know, Monica from Story Racing and her colleague EJ coming over to race. EJ had a bit of bad luck, unfortunately, but they were very strong indeed in animating the race today.
They were indeed, and I tried my best, and I watched where they were and tried to get around them when I could, and I succeeded.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion of champions. Give it up for our podium. easy racing here. It's not easy going down the ramp there either in cleats. Okay, next up, it is the podium for the elite men's Criterium, the culmination of the evening here in Copenhagen. First up, third place on the podium, taking the Rapha Nocturne cap, of course, 400 Danish kroner from Vitamin Well, Jasper Folsak. Congratulations, Casper.
Thanks.
Bit of a surprise you're on the podium there. We caught you by surprise.
I mean, I hope to be on the podium. I knew that the guys from Great Britain are very strong in these kind of crits, so I was trying to follow them, and also got a lot of help from my teammate Rasmus Quell, who's pulling a lot in the front and doing an awesome job. And then in the end, I just had to be satisfied with third, because they were too strong for me.
Third on the podium, first local guy. Give it up for Casper. Okay, second place in the racing tonight, a man who's accustomed to winning this year, it has to be said, taking the Rapha Nocturne cap, 500 Danish kroner as well, from Team JLT Condor, Brenton Jones. Well done, mate. Brenton, quick word. Brenton also won the Nocturne in London earlier in the year. Just second tonight. Not too bad work, though.
Not too bad when you go 1-2, Brigger, great race, and out on the final lap. To see his horsepower, catapulting Brigger and I into first and second is fantastic, and another great night. So thanks for everyone for watching and coming out. It's a great atmosphere.
Brenton, great job. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. To finish off, the winner of tonight's race here in Copenhagen, taking the B&O headphones, the champagne, the 1,000 Danish kroner, 6-month supply of Vitamin Well water. He's not going to be thirsty, is he? And also the special Rapha Champions jersey. He's the winner of tonight's race. He is the winner of the Rapha Nocturne World Series. JLT Condors, Graham Briggs. We would quite like you to put the jersey on, Graham. You can put the headphones on later. Put the jersey on now. Is it your size? I think it's your size. Go on, get it on. There's only about 6 of these in existence. Brenton got one last time. It fits beautifully. Come on, look at that. You cannot buy these, specially made by Rapha for the Nocturne. Fits like a glove, Graham. Hard work tonight, though. A technical, tricky course. Luckily, it didn't rain, as was forecast, but even so, it was still pretty sapping out there.
Yeah, it was a great circuit, really. It really demanded a lot of you. You had to really concentrate with being dark. Yeah, it was super fast, and the crowds were great, so it was a really good atmosphere, and great to race in Denmark.
You were leading the series, even though you came second to your teammate Brenton in London, because you did a lot of the work there in the intermediate sprints. Tonight, though, did you pull rank? Did you say, come on, Brenton, move over, I want to win this one? Yes.
You'll have to ask him. No, he's, we've had a good year, and it's nice to get a victory. I think this is my second one of the year, so we've done some good lead-outs to Renton, so I was happy to take the win.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion from Team JLT Condor, Graham Briggs. Give it up. Come on, round of applause. Round of applause, please. And that is just about it from us for this evening and from the Rapha Nocturne series for this year. Don't worry, we'll be back next year, bigger, better, with these riders back once again. Thanks very much indeed for your company. Wouldn't be the same without you, nor without them. Thanks again. Have a good night.